Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the M99 GRAFX Backmarkers ARCA League. A little tongue-tied there tonight. This, of course, is the M99 GRAFX 150 here at Iowa. We're going to get into some short track racing here. And this is, of course, brought to you by M99 GRAFX, our very own Logan Monteith. You can go follow him over on Instagram at M99_graphics. That is M99_GRAFX. I am Rain Braun, joined alongside by my broadcast colleague Tyler Barnett. Tyler, how you doing tonight?
I'm not too bad. I am actually really excited to see what goes on tonight. This is going to be one of the most high-pressured races that we'll have all season, mainly due to the fact that we're unveiling a new qualifying format where we're only going to take 22 to the quote feature race. So the top 17 are going to qualify in directly on speed, and then after that we'll have our B main where we only take 5 cars and advance them to the main. And you got to think, we have 36 cars registered. That means over 10 cars are going to be going home tonight, empty-handed.
And that's the tribulation of racing, really. It's a necessary addition to have to do for something like a short track, because as you just said, we have 36 cars registered. If you imagine 36 cars, they're all really loose cars. We got some new guys in here, some developmental type drivers. We got all those guys running. It could end up being a mess. This shortened format will give a lot more of a competitive edge, and the B main format, which will be allowing the guys who don't qualify in an opportunity to race in to the top 5 to make the transfer into the feature race. Everybody will get to race tonight in one way or another. It's just only a certain amount will be making it to the feature. Some guys are going to get to race twice, so they're going to have a little extra endurance, but that's the important part of getting that practice in this week and getting those hot laps down so that you can make that top 17 rather, sorry, that top 17 spot. But, I mean, it's tight already. The times here are about as tight as you could expect them to be. A lot of familiar names up top, some new names also in this field at this point, and we have somewhere around 8 to 10 rookie starts this evening. All potentially, we could see a major upset here. As you can see, Johnny Rapp is currently running in second behind Jacob Bradley. And of course, Johnny Rapp is the newest addition to the newly formed Payday Racing team, formerly Mach 1. Jacob Bradley and Brady Powers had a split. Mach 1 Racing was dissolved and transitioned into Payday Racing. And so Jacob Bradley, Johnny Rapp, Chris Hone, and Jonathan Cofield make up Payday Racing at this point. And Brady Powers is currently running independent on his own. So some big shakeups leading into this thing. But like I said, Johnny Rapp's first race here tonight, right now, will be his first start. And look at that time.
Yeah, that is very impressive. I mean, he got brought in by Jacob Bradley, and Jacob Bradley is a very, very top-tier driver. He spends a lot of time practicing, harnessing his skills, and he's got some nice pedals on him too, and he got a really high I rating. This man takes it serious, so he's going to bring in serious people nonetheless. So, Johnny Rapp, I knew he was going to be solid, but I didn't think he's going to be second on the scoreboard solid right now. But you got to think, look at these times. Within, it looks like 3/10, we have almost a top 20. That is incredible. That is one of the closest splits we've seen in quite a while, actually.
Absolutely. And we're seeing that friendly rivalry, the most competitive two people on this league, Steve Loving and Dustin Bally. They're always somewhere near each other and love to rib each other all the time. They are dead tied right now to the 100th of a second in hot lap. So practice. Everybody gets to run a lot of stuff. There's a lot of drafting. There's only one lap that matters, and that is your qualifying lap. So we're gonna have to see just who's gonna be able to pull out the difference maker here and really show everybody what they're capable of doing this evening. Because, like I said, not making this feature tonight, it doesn't mean, you're not a good driver. People can have bad luck. You could crash in your qualifying, and that, sends you back. You could just not be great at dropping a hot lap. But that's the cool thing about having the B main, is there are plenty of guys, Jackson Samsel comes to mind for me. He often, he'll kind of be starting towards mid to backpack a lot of the time because he just doesn't end up hitting a hot lap as well as he'd want to. But then he gets into the race and he comes out finishing in the top 10. So, anybody could end up coming through here and missing this qualifying run and be at the back in qualifying and still make the top 5 to make the transfer into the feature.
Yeah, and that definitely is such a cool thing about this format is that it does award hot lappers, and people who are like Jackson who definitely race better than they qualify, they may struggle at first, like you said, but they can also come through the heat, and that's why it's also 20 laps. It's going to be enough to wear down some tire, and I don't think caution laps count either. So it's going to be a full 20 laps of racing, and it's going to be pretty interesting to see who could save their tires and see who has a better racecraft versus qualifying. If you can change that mode from qualifying to race too.
Absolutely. And among the field, let's go ahead and highlight some of these new names. As we said, we're looking at Johnny Rapp here with Payday Racing making his debut tonight. Going down this line, we also have, looks like Trevor Burge, who is replacing Robert Vasey in Dumpster Fire Racing. Robert has not
And
been able to make a start so far this season. And so Nathan Gentry, team owner, decided to sub him out, let him go out of his contract, and go ahead and take on Trevor Burge to, score those oh so important team points.
if this was qualifying right now too, Trevor Burge would have that 17th spot by 2/100ths of a second over Sean Johnson.
That close. And as we continue, we also have, I haven't had the chance to talk with him just yet, but maybe you know a little better. Is it Cavan? Is it Caven Baumler?
It is Kevin Baumler.
Caven Baumler. You see? I got the last name
I
right
think.
for sure.
I'm
Caven
gonna
Baumler.
say I think too. We're gonna call him Baumler from here on out, just until we could specify that first name.
Caven Baumler is making a first start here. It is his rookie season. I know that Evil Empire is in the works of setting up a satellite team that has not been fully put together just yet in time for this race. So he is running Privateer at this point. He is running independent, but with support from Evil Empire. I'm pretty sure that's the case, right?
That is correct. He got brought in by some people. Oh, we are getting talked about by Michael Boyles. He's talking about his number.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's running at number 5. It looks like we're gonna have to yell at him at some point.
Whoa, Caven just avoided Dave Grajewski coming through there. Let's keep highlighting real quick as this before the session comes to an end. Joseph Gregory, Ridge Runner Racing, a new team, not chartered team as of yet, but they are a new team that just came in together. This is going to be his first start, as well as Chris Hone, who is another member of Payday Racing. Craig Martin, who is making his first start tonight. He is not the 22 that is normally Adam Boyles, but we had a little snafu with iRacing, so he's going to be the 22 tonight. And Adam Boyles is also the 22 tonight. So don't get a little too confused. We'll make sure to call him by name. And then we also have Sawyer West with Ridge Runner Racing making his first start, and JT Lauderdale will be making his first start here tonight as well. So that is a lot of rookies in this field.
Yeah, it is. Chris Kahn too. Don't forget about him. And for the first time back in a while, Abraham's back, and he's a little off pace, it seems, from the top guys. But I want to see his racecraft. I want to see if he's going to be able to sneak in there on race pace. But practice has just ended, and now it is going to get real. So do you think we see any big mistakes from any fast guys in qualifying trying to get the most out of their equipment? Because this gap is so tight from 1st to 17th.
In qualifying here, I think it's very possible. I think but maybe not in the top guys. I've never known them to have these kind of issues, but anything can happen, of course. But when you come in and you're feeling that pressure that, oh, I'm gonna have to go out there and drop a good lap here, you run out and you want to make sure that you're doing your best. You can overthink sometimes. You can cause some issues for yourself, and that is not a situation you want to find yourself in. You want to play it safe, but how safe is too safe? Because you might just be edged out by that teeny tiny 100th of a second or 1,000th of a second. I know our tower doesn't show it, but it is measuring to the 1,000th of a second. So you could be edged out by that close. And as we're looking at Michael Gudger, I'm sorry, Michael Gudger has just spun on his lead-in lap. It looks like
we
he
also
is
have
taken back to pits and is going to try to get that lead in again, but that might have been
Sean
a situation.
Johnson's out there. Let's see
got
what
into
he's
his
putting
head.
up.
Yes, indeed. Looks like Connor Morse has dropped a lap already. Damian
Oh yeah, the
Marquez,
laps are coming in.
Gregory, Sean Johnson taking up Logan Monteith immediately here. They are going to pour in fast, folks. So we're going to try to keep up with who we have on here because this is all at once and they're not all on track for us. So we kind of have to look around.
Connor
Connor
with a
Morse.
24.0. That's his second lap. This is going to be interesting to see where Logan puts his second lap. I think the second lap is going to be definitely faster than the first.
As we're on board here with Logan Monteith, what did he pull out?
23.956, the only driver in the
That's gonna do
23
it.
so far. Jacob
And
Bradley, though, he's on his second lap. Let's see where he ends up. Tyler to Talent to the pole.
Tyler to Talent to the
Cofield.
pole. Jonathan Cofield right after. Wow. What an
Bradley to the pole with a
Jacob Bradley.
23.6.
Familiar place for him, our winner from last week at Darlington. And look how quickly everything shook up. Brian Brobst coming in at 5th. Samuel Stoner coming in 6th here. Carter Dyson at 8th. Fantastic turnout for Carter so far.
So
some
the gap
really
right
big
now,
things happening.
Here's the gap, though, is Cavan and Clifton. Those are 17th and 18th. That's a separation right there, except Sean just got dropped to the hot seat. Now JT to the hot seat.
Brady Powers enters the top 10. And Dustin Bally has just taken the 10th position preliminarily here as we look at Jay Bast making his run. Jay Bast has just edged out. Yes, indeed. Jay Bast has just secured himself into the 10th position. As we look back here, trying
Jackson
to find where
Samson's on the hot seat, I think, now.
he just edges out Dustin Bally on that lap. What an incredible. Jackson Samsel, yeah, sitting right at 16.
Joseph Gregory and Damian Marquez. Those are the two that are on the hot seat right now. The laps are still pouring in, though. We still have
Johnny
heavy
Rapp.
hitters.
Johnny Rapp, just like that, shoots up to the top. We have a 3-car run-up here of payday racing cars.
That team is just going to be so strong in the upcoming races. It's incredible. They have I think the most solid string of drivers right now.
Dave
Any one of them
Grajewski.
can win the race.
Dave Grajewski
Go
slides up into
Dade.
14th.
Go Dade. He's going to lock
Jackson is
himself in with
just
that one, I'm
bumped
pretty
out of
sure.
the transfer.
Steve Loving still has yet to go. Same with Robert Brobst.
And Blake Hoppy bumps up as well. The number 8 taking 7th here so far. We are waiting to see a couple of guys still need to make their run. Robert Brobst is out on track. Steve Loving looks like he has just entered track, and Nathan Gentry has not run yet either. So let's see where this ends up.
So Robert getting him set up. He drops a 24.0, and it looks like that's going to be good enough to transfer him. So he's going to park it after that one. He's
Just
not even
ahead of
going to
those
take the
off
risk of
wall
the second
cars.
lap.
Absolutely. Steve Loving, as we're watching him. One of the final laps needs to be made here.
It looks
Whoa,
like Cavan's already
loose.
packed up and ready to go. He already left the session.
Well, I don't want to make the assumption here, but it looked like Steve got a little bit loose there. He might have just been warming up his tires, though, too. I don't understand his strategy, so, yeah, I can't make that call. And he moves up to 26. He's going to try to hot lap here. I imagine this is going to be his one.
I think he's going to be able to sneak it. I don't know if it's going to be the best lap, though. He got a little loose.
He's going to get it here, I think. I think he makes transfer. He might be bumping his teammate Michael Gudger out,
He's getting loose. And he's going to
third.
Go to the
he
third.
Breaks
wow.
Up. He breaks up that payday racing hold on that podium up top. Very great lap there. As we look, it doesn't look like Nathan Gentry is in to make his lap just yet. So we're going to have to see here. Wow. Incredible stuff, truly. Jay Bass is out running again. Transfer. Jay has already made the transfer. It looks like he might just be trying to see if he can better himself.
Peter D. Stewart with a big mistake. He qualified with a 28.9. He's going to have to come from the back of the heat race.
And, if anybody's going to be able to do something like that, Peter Stewart is definitely a guy you can look out for. He's a more than a competent driver. So, like I said, anything can happen here with the way that these races ended up happening. So it's only a matter of kind of waiting it out and seeing what comes up. This is a huge shakeup already. as we take a look at these results so far, the top
Look
10.
at the transfer. Look at the transfer spot between Dade and Michael. They are almost tied. It is 5/1000ths of a second separating those two from making the feature right away or going to the heat race.
And Dade edging out Michael is very surprising to me. Dade is very good, of course, but Michael is an incredible driver. He loves short tracks. Bristol's his favorite. He nonstop likes to talk about it. But the to see Steve come in there, he ends up having to make a spot where he ends up knocking Michael out of that transfer, sending him back into having to make that run. He's the only guy from Vintage who's going to have to do it. We're having a little bit of weird audio issue. I don't know if you can hear that on your side.
I heard a little bit, but I'm sure it'll get fixed on its own here at some point. It's astonished with this qualifying run right now from Dade. What do you say we bring him in, because I think that's going to be it.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, Dade, you got us up in the booth?
Yeah, I got here.
Well, you are on the edge right now. 5/1000ths of a second between you and your teammate, but the only other person who has not qualified is Nathan Gentry. How you feeling about it?
I mean, I don't want to, say that I don't want to say that he can't out-qualify me, because he definitely can, but I'm feeling good about where I am. I hate to push my teammate out of the show, but we're in, so I'm really stoked about that.
Yeah, I mean, man, that's pretty awesome. You were doing a lot of work beforehand. You were talking to me about laps that you were running, and ran a good one in practice. And I think you were top 15 in practice, and then you just nabbed 17th in qualifying. So looking like you're going straight to the feature. What's your strategy for the race then, since now that you could focus on that instead of the heat race?
So I'm just gonna sit back and let the race unfold and kind of hope it plays into a pit strategy race. That's what I play best at. But I can't believe all these guys just recreated all their practice laps, and it's this tough, man. So just nods to everybody.
It is pretty crazy considering that from Blake to you is separated by only 1/10. And that is
Yeah, that
is 10 cars separated by 1/10.
That is insane.
So this league is definitely becoming something else, but you also have 3 cars inside the top 17 right now. You, obviously, Robert, and Steve Loving. And obviously the only other car, the outlier right now, is Michael, who's right behind you, but he's got a good chance, I'd say, into transferring. So what do you say about that? Do you think he's going to make it?
Yeah, we were talking about that, and he's our strategy for Michael is just to kind of keep him out of accidents, and hopefully he can be fast enough to run up in there in the top 5. So that's all he needs, is just to get in the top 5 to get in the race.
Well, all right, man. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll give you back to your team so you guys can talk about things and go over some strats.
All right, thank you very much.
Whew, this is tight. So,
Oh yeah.
as a driver, as an ex-driver, how would you feel about knocking your teammate out to make the show?
Well, I can tell you as a driver, truthfully, it's not something you really you get too worked up about. I'd imagine, that's the beauty of racing. It's what you came here to do, right? No matter what, at the end of the day, if it's you and your teammate running 1 and 2, you're gonna try to beat your teammate, right? But the aspect here isn't, Dade did some kind of trickery to, ruin the night for Michael and send him out. It just happened to shake out that way with the format. So, I mean, for the way that goes, yeah, as a team owner, as Dade is the owner of Vintage Racing, knocking out your driver when you want to see all your guys get as high as possible, make it to that feature because you need them points oh so badly for team championship, especially when a team like Payday Racing is pretty much they're in at this point. Yeah, you definitely don't want to see that happen to yourself. That never feels very good. So I mean, but the good news is, if there could have been a strategy, I think sending Michael to be the guy that has to make the transfer might be their best route at that point, because he can definitely win a race like this.
I totally agree with that. Well, as the cars start coming off of pit road. This is going to get real interesting real fast. We also have Adam Boyles, who did not make the show right away, which I'm very surprised about. He's usually really quick.
It's, you know what, the thing is, there were 17 other people faster.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting though, like I said, because Adam usually runs some good hot laps, and it looks like he ran a banger in practice, but
I mean,
just out of
we're
that
talking
range.
about just Iowa and short tracks. He won the only other short track we've had so far this season. He won at North Wilkesboro. So,
Not
you
only
know,
that, but
this
in
is...
dominating fashion.
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, for him to be back here, it is definitely surprising. It just goes to show that, for one thing, some nights can just not be your night, you know? And in another way, just the strength of this field right now. I mean, as a team owner for Off the Wall Racing, I'm currently looking at, you know, as we all know, Austin Holbrook is out. He's getting married. Congratulations to Austin.
Congrats, Austin, if you're ever going to watch this.
Absolutely. No, couldn't be a happier reason for a team owner to not see a driver show up. But for Charles Broderick, who's currently sitting in that 12th position back there, he needs to make this transfer in order to come in. But, you know, he's here for the race. Everybody here is going to bring home points for themselves and for their team, no matter what tonight. So Charles just needs to get some good positions, and if he can't quite make it to that top 5, if he can bring home enough to make a big enough difference, get up front so he can make, you know, a big enough points difference, it's gonna matter in the long run. We're halfway through this season. We will be after tonight.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting as we go green here to take the first lap of the B main. So a good start for Adam. He's going to hang on his outside here. We're going to see if he's going to let the 64 up, but no, he doesn't. Adam takes the top side. He's going to go right underneath that bump that's on the exit of 2, and Michael's going to drift right up in front of him, and then from there on out, we got a battle.
Oh,
Already got a wreck.
Caution is out. What do we see here?
Looks like Sawyer West.
Let's take a look back, see if we can find out where this happened. You said Sawyer West. Oh, wow, we were 4 wide back there, it looked like. No.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, Sawyer West
no.
gets turned by the 91, Peter Stewart. And it's okay. He looks like he's probably okay. He just kind of got spun around. This will just shake everybody up. It's not something... You don't want to see cautions in a race as short as this B main, because it's going to take away from the opportunity for everybody to get to run. But, you know, that it looks like Sawyer is plenty fine to recover. I can't see any crazy damage to his car that would mean he'd have to pit and basically count his night out right now. So, you know,
he should be solid.
Yeah, if he's feeling okay to go, it'll be all right. I mean, I don't have race comms. Did you hear anything come out of that 91 of Peter Stewart after that?
Nothing of that sort. It just looks like a racing incident. The 63 checked up a little bit. 91 wasn't expecting it. But, yeah, caution laps also do not count. So, this is going to be a full lap or a full 20 laps of a B main right here.
Well, that's very good, actually, because I can imagine a lot of people would be quite cross if it turned into a caution fest with everybody trying to make it.
Right.
That would be that'd be quite the strategy if that was the case, but thankfully not.
It'd be pretty bold, I'd say. But with that, I mean, we saw Michael get a good start, and from here on out, it's going to be on the leader. So let's see if he can get a better start this time and try to pass Adam Boyles.
I'm going to do a broadcast check here. I've gotten a notification of audio might be a little low on our end.
Okay.
No, it sounds pretty loud to me. You sound good. I think Robert Brebs needs to get his ears checked because I think we sounded pretty clear on there. I don't know what's going on.
I heard myself. I heard myself.
I heard myself as well, so I think we're okay.
Before we go back live, one sec. I gave no caution lap.
I mean, we could be in a position here where we're looking at we have to look at some kind of tire strategy if we have to keep dealing with you know, with pacing laps at this point.
Right.
Oh, it does tick down to 16 to go there from 17 to go.
It still says lap 1 for me on the overlay here on iRacing, but
You know what?
could just be a.
Yeah, it's probably just a graphical glitch.
So don't worry about it. Anybody that's tuning in, don't worry about it. We are still at 20 laps to go.
If I start celebrating thinking somebody won and I'm getting all hype about it, and you know, Tyler's just being very calm and he's like, wait, there's like 5 more laps. That's there's a reason for it. Very grateful for SDK Overlay's system. Really fantastic system. Can't recommend it enough, but you know, not everything's perfect and you just got to work out some kinks sometimes, but we haven't had to deal with this just yet. So, you know,
Knock on wood, we don't have to anymore.
yeah, right.
And
As
we
we're
are
heading
green,
green.
and Michael with a
Ooh!
great start.
Lots of checkups there. We're 3 wide already in a couple of places.
Damien up there in
Michael Gudger pulling
inside the
away
top
from
5
that
for a
pack.
minute.
As
Man,
we
look at
see
JT
some
Lauderdale's
big
car.
moves.
I like those colors on it. That is a beautiful
We
car.
are 4 wide in the back. It is getting hairy back there. It looks like Anthony Cangelosi trying to throw some... Oh, no! Abraham Kalufa's been spun. Oh, Damien's been hit by Nathan Gentry.
Oh no.
That was a bad one.
That is
A
unfortunate.
lot
So
happened,
what
and
happened
it
there?
all started to start with Abraham Kalufa went around, but a separate incident sprung out immediately. Let's take a look here from Abraham's perspective. Looks like it just got... Oh, Nick just came up, basically punted him, and... Oh. Yeah, I don't think he meant to. It looked like he just accelerated a little quickly there. A couple of
Yep.
cars getting caught up in that one. As we take a look back, what happened to Damien here, though? Trying to see Damien. Looks like he clips the wall a little bit, a little too slow.
Yeah, it looks like
Oh,
Craig
the
Martin just sent it
22
in
went...
there.
The 22
Yeah.
went high. And that collected a lot of people there. Charles Broderick involved in that as well. Charles looked like he managed to just avoid everything. Looks like Anthony Cangelosi might have slipped through just in time. Hopefully. It's what an awful circumstance there.
Well, hopefully we can get a couple green flag laps in because it's only 15 minutes that we have the session set for because we want to keep it the time down.
As we look here, Michael Gudger is still in first. I don't know why Charles Broderick is being placed in the first position here, but you're gonna have to ignore that one. As I said, this SDK overlay system is a little bit finicky with the B main propositions. So if you don't see that 16 on track and it says he's pitting, he is not 2 laps ahead somehow. So yep, as everything seems to be shaking out. Learning process, folks. Learning process.
Don't worry about it. Ref isn't seeing it. We're still learning here. The ref is blind here. But if it stays like this, hopefully we can get a couple green flag laps in. We only got 5 minutes left in this heat because people decided that they wanted to keep their cars sideways instead of straight. Love all you guys that are watching. So,
yes, indeed.
So Michael Gudger, Adam Boyles, Jackson Samsel, and Trevor Burge, as well as Joseph Gregory, are going to be the ones looking to advance right now. So I really hope we can get a couple good green flag laps in here. Hopefully nobody gets a little too overzealous. But looking on the outside in right now is Sean Johnson. He's 3 spots out of that top 5, but he's looking quick in race pace. So I think he's going to be able to maybe snag 1 or 2 of them. It's going to be a lot to ask for, though, in only 5 minutes, trying to get back as many positions as he's down.
Yeah, Mr. Moonpie, he is a miracle worker, though. He had a pretty good finish last week. So, I mean, if anything, you know, this is the time to really work that Moonpie magic and get himself ahead.
That is correct. And he picks the outside. And he's going to drop to 4th in line on the outside where he lost a row, but it looks like the outside is pretty strong. Michael Gudger also took the outside, so we're going to see how he starts here. Jackson Samsel to the inside. He's going to be on the front row now.
Now, I've just noticed something as I'm kind of looking here. I do believe Sean Johnson is a member of Impact Race. Not Sean Johnson, my bad. Peter Stewart is a member of Impact Racing, right?
That is correct. That is correct.
That means that 3 of the cars from Impact are at danger of not making the feature as we go green here. And we may end up seeing them, not make it. Connor Morse might be the only person with the chance to get in, but I'm not entirely surprised by the fact that Adam Boyles is very likely a shoe-in to try to make this, and Michael Boyles as well, as he's diving actually down to that inside. So we're gonna jump around here and try to keep the excitement moving. We're 3 wide.
3 wide.
Oh, Nick Seraph gets a little bit loose, comes down in front of Anthony Cangelosi. Anthony feeling the squeeze, heading to the middle there. He's gonna back off a little bit, get behind Nick, kind of see what's going on. Nick gets loose again. Nick is having trouble on those exits.
Yeah, he is definitely squeezing that throttle a little bit too much, but watching Sean Johnson right now, he's trying to make some work around the 26 car of rookie Joseph Gregory. He's getting a run on him. That is for 7th place. He's going to have to get 2 more spots after this. Right now, it's JT Lauderdale in that final transfer.
Sean Johnson looking for that pass. Looks like he might have support of JT Lauderdale. Just, kind of being stuck there. It looks like instead he had a little buyer's remorse on it. Fell back in line.
Oh, the 26 of Gregory, Joseph sends it in there. He's getting super loose on exit. That's going to give Sean an opportunity to get pretty close and get a good run going into the first turn here. So it looks like it's going to be the outside dominant, but that 26 car, he's burning up those tires, sliding up to the top like that. He's sliding about a lane up, and I don't know how much he's turning the wheel, but he just hooks the bottom right now, and he's going to slide up another lane. The 47 touches the wall. He was in your final transfer spot. He was in the final transfer spot.
And just like that, 2 huge moves. Sean Johnson now fighting for that transfer. He's going to need to make some big plays here. And he's going to have to see if he can follow in and get in that spot that Trevor Burge is pretty much occupying right now. If that 26 and that 32 can move up, that 26 is hard charging up towards that 19. If they can make the move here in 14 laps to go, we might see another shakeup here. The 26 drops down low. Oh, comes back right in front of the 32.
He got super loose on exit. He's going to slide up the track right here. Sean going to play it safe. He's going to check up a little bit and try and get a good run. Oh, he's loose. He gets super sideways. So he's just trying to find a good way around him right now.
Michael Boyles looking to the inside.
This transfer spot's getting hot, boys.
Michael Boyles is staying as hard as he can into that groove. And
Trevor Burge on the hot seat as well.
As sideways as Michael Boyles is there, the control is incredible coming off of him. He's really looking to pass Sean Johnson, and he doesn't quite have it coming out of this. He might just get a little bit of an edge. Is it going to be enough, or is he going to have to fall back in line? Doesn't quite get it. He might have it just on this turn. Oh, Sean! Sean throwing a block, it looks like. Just something to try to stop it with the momentum.
He was trying to look to the inside of the 26 and make it 3 wide for a second, but Sean's going to stay pinned on that outside lane. Sean's going to stay pinned on that outside, and Trevor Burge is definitely also on the hot seat, although he is in 4th.
Joseph Gregory looks like Charles Broderick.
So this is going to be really interesting coming down to the final couple laps here. It should be white flag and next time by. The 26 sliding on. Oh, he almost clips the 19.
Oh, the 5. The 5's going for it. The 05. The 05 is it right there. Oh, Sean Johnson throwing it in too. He says, hey, we can pass together. Mr. Moonpie is trying to make this difference. Wow. Oh, Nick Seraph getting right behind him too.
Nick Seraph. If there's something that happens between those guys up front, he's in that catbird seat. He's in that J Bass seat.
Yes, indeed.
He sends it in.
Copyright J Bass seat.
Underneath the 32. It's not for a transfer, but it is for something, man.
That 19 is about to get the pass here from the 26. He is just not. Oh, a little bit of a door bump. That was just a 26 getting loose there. That was nothing intentional about that. 26 flies right and fast, and the 05 is going to take that transfer.
Nick also gives a shot to
Wow.
Oh, he
Look at
blocks
the
him.
19.
Sean
The 19
Johnson.
is blowing in there. I know that we're looking at 2 separate dogfights right now, but this fight for this transfer spot is something else.
This is insane right now. Michael Boyles is going to be able to squeeze by and almost clear
Every
him.
time he tries to clear him, Trevor Burge just comes right back and squeezes in that gap. It's like he's trying to keep just enough pressure to make him burn up his tires on that bottom row. Maybe he'll get the chance. Oh, and Michael Boyles in the wall. Trevor Burge is going to drop down and try to take that spot right back. And he does. He doesn't have it quite cleared yet, but he is ahead. Michael dropping down.
They almost touch again. Nick Seraph also looking at that seat right there. He is licking his chops because if something happens between those two, he's in.
Sean Johnson as well. Sean just trying to get past Nick here. He wants to be in that catbird seat. He wants to have a Jay Bass moment here to get up top.
I don't think that Sean's going to be very happy, though, with the 523 because those two made a little bit of contact, and Nick was racing him a little rough, even though they are teammates, but I get it. It's for a transfer spot. You got to get as close as you can to an opportunity.
And let's not forget the guys back in the back. They are currently fighting, for a large, a large sum of points. They don't want to be all the way at the back, not getting any points here. So, I mean, this is, this fight here just to get into the main is not the only fight that matters, but it is the most contested right now for sure.
That's what I'm thinking right now. I mean, this battle for the transfer spot is important. Something that I never thought I'd hear myself say is there's a battle for the lead going on, but that's not as important as Michael Boyles versus Trevor Burge.
Yes, indeed. I know, and that is such a bizarre statement as we have 3 to go here.
Nick Seraph Super Luth.
It looks like Adam may try to send it for a win towards this last lap here, but I wouldn't be surprised for him to not take that chance. He is running alongside Michael Gudger here, and they are really gunning it out. Don't want to take away from Michael Gudger as we're coming to the checkered right now. Is that right?
That is correct. That is because
and that's it. And Adam Boyles
is going to take the win
Adam
on the
Boyles
outside.
comes right past, and the transfer spot goes to Michael Boyles.
What a race for the transfer. That was incredible.
Unbelievable stuff here. Wow. Absolutely incredible. And as we get ready to take a look, as everybody's about to grid up, we want to remind you that we are here because of our amazing broadcast partner in Extreme Sim TV. If you are watching right now and you have to be on YouTube here, this is your chance. Go in there, click that subscribe button down below, click that bell icon so you can be notified every time we go live. Here is our brand new introduction created by our very own Michael Gut. Ladies and gentlemen, as we're pacing here, heading up the front, of course, as we take a look at this grid. Jacob Bradley, Johnny Rapp, Steve Loving, Jonathan Cofield. It's a Payday Racing top up there. Ignore that Bandits Motorsport. That is incorrect information. Tyler DeTalent, Logan Monteith, Brian Brobst, Blake Hoppy, Samuel Stoner, and Connor Morse rounding out that top 10. What an incredible, incredible top 10 we have here. And we do have, of course, the guys who did, in fact, make the transfer filling out this field at this point, bringing us to, I believe we're looking at 21 here. I'm unsure. Tyler had to step away for just a moment to take care of a couple of race admin business. We'll wait for him to come back and give me the signal that he's ready to come back live. But as we take a look here, go ahead and bring back in Tyler. We're looking here at Iowa Speedway. It is 69 degrees.
Yeah, I'm going to adjust it.
Night. And, of course, it is 6-mile-per-hour wind. It's going to be interesting to see how this is going to affect these cars as they make their runs here this evening. Yeah, I'm clear. Are you clear? All right, just wanted to make sure Tyler's ready to bring back in here. Like I said, he was doing some race admin stuff, getting everything settled, of course, because of the weird format we had tonight. It was very exciting, though, to say the least.
Yeah, it was very interesting with iRacing. I'm gonna have to go look into that because I said only take 5 from the feature into the or 5 from the heat race into the feature, but it took the whole field. So unfortunately, had to DQ some people, had to do it by my own hand. Had to put the blood on my hands, I guess. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. It was a good race while it lasted.
Yes, indeed. Well, who was DQ'd here? I'm very confused. What I'm seeing. I
Every
see Jay Bast on
everybody
pit
that was
road.
not inside the everybody that was not inside the top 5 was DQ'd.
I see Jay Bast on pit road. He definitely made the he made the qualifying.
So unfortunately, it looks like Jay gridded up a little bit too late, and he's gonna have to start from the pits. But he should be okay. I'd assume he'd be okay.
Oh wow, that's really unfortunate. He's definitely a guy who can make it from the back. That's not really a concern, but that's not something you want to end up seeing happen to a guy. I was wondering why we were only at 21 drivers. I was afraid he accidentally got DQ'd. I'm like, well, hang on, not just as his team owner, of course, but in the effort of fairness, he definitely made the qualifying position.
Yes, he definitely did. I mean, he put up an impressive run, but we are going to the green end now. So Jacob Bradley, the green flag drops. He's going to take off, and he's going to be beating his teammate, Johnny Rapp, the rookie. Steve Loving, not getting a very good start, is going to fall to 4th, and it's going to be a payday 1-2-3 right off the bat.
And just like that, Payday is taking a strong lead, running 1-2-3 as Logan Monte's coming up for the pass on Steve Loving already. Logan is never one to shy away from, a lot of people say, obviously driving in hard, especially anywhere on short tracks, anything like that. You're going to burn up those tires. You're going to end up in a situation you don't want to burn anything up too early. I think Logan might just have the Midas touch when it comes to these kinds of things, because I honestly, we should probably look into his tires because he's running something a little different than everybody else is, because this man can keep his car balanced. And, I mean, unless he just has magic ability to not lose it with a really worn down right front, he is always bad fast, and he's always able to make moves, especially on long runs, and seemingly never really is losing anything on it.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been really, really solid at tire saving. He's actually the one that taught me how to save tires, and it's obviously benefited me in the long-term gain. But, man, I'm looking at the Discord really quick, and I can hear the heartbreak from here. Unfortunately, Sean Johnson saying from a top 5 all the way to not even making the main event tonight, absolutely brutal, and I have to agree with that.
It is unfortunate, and these guys, they really do need to keep their heads up. Come tune into the broadcast, first of all, because we love that support. And support your fellow drivers, there are some new people in this field, but a lot of this top 17 is all people that have been running this league at this point, with some newcomers who are just a little bit faster this time around. Sometimes it's the track, guys, so, I mean, the most important thing to note is, this is only going to be for another 3 tracks, I believe we're doing.
Yes, it should be only 3 plus that dirt track. I don't know if you counted that one, but it shouldn't be for the rest of the season. I mean, we're gonna have a more majority towards having a big field like we just
Brady Powers
like we
making
saw
a
in
pass. Connor Morse
practice.
there. Connor Morse still just has to take it easy. He's still on his probation period, but he has been more than impressive and showing that he can take the criticism and the need to change things up to heart. And I mean, if there were naysayers, which there were for sure, he's proven them wrong. So he just needs to keep that business up here tonight, show everybody what he's really capable of.
Yeah, definitely. We have a battle for second going on. We have the payday drivers going after it. Johnny Rapp and Jonathan Cofield. They were side by side for a second, but all you can see right now is Jacob Bradley pulling away in the distance.
We have a big fight here around 10th position. Blake Hoppy, Dustin Bawley, Adam Boyle's incredible move up from him already. All kind of fighting for position up here in that 11th spot, just behind Robert Brobst, who's running away with 10th at this point. Robert Brobst actually trying to make a pass on Brady Powers up here.
Yeah, Connor got back around Brady right there, and it looks like that high side is working really well.
Ooh,
Tyler
Jackson coming
DeTalent
in
up inside
real
7th.
tight. Real tight on that 56 of Chris Hahn. That's a real
This
tight
is a
run-in he
tight
got
battle
in
right
behind
here.
him.
This is a tight battle right here. Oh man, he's getting right up on that bumper. So it looks like Adam's kind of holding people up as well as Dustin Bali. They're side by side battling, and this is going to stack up the field behind them. I said it's multi-groove racing, but you can't really run the middle too well here without burning your tires off and kind of losing some speed. So you got to pick one or the other. Got to pick the lesser of two evils, I guess. And it looks like
Absolutely.
everyone's starting to fall towards the bottom in 1 and 2. Adam, the only one running the high side, burning those tires a little bit, but he's going to get a good run and complete the pass on Dustin
Dustin's
Bali.
sliding right back down to the inside. I mean, the pass is complete here, but it's still side by side this entire
Look at Jackson
time.
Samsel. He's getting around Chris Hahn. It looks like he's going to get him at the line. If not, it's going to be very, very close.
Now tell us a little bit about these lines. I mean, I've heard throughout practice that outside line felt like the place to be. Jay Bast was saying such, and it looks like Jay Bast was able to get in. He's not too far behind this pack, so he needs to make up a little bit of time here to get himself back up front. But you know, maybe a caution will help him in that regard. But the outside versus inside line here, I was talking with Jay, of course, you know, beforehand, and he was saying throughout his practices he really felt like that outside line was really strong for him, and others saying that inside line, you know, it's squirrely and it burns things up, but that outside line is too dangerous, it's too loose. So I mean, really, when it comes to Iowa, what is the best route here? They almost seem evenly matched in some of these turns.
So due to this iRacing tire model, you want to run the low side to save your tires. That is why I was kind of concerned about Adam running the fence for a little bit, but if you run the high side for too long, your tires will get too hot. They'll start to wear a little bit quicker, and people on the low side will start eating you up. But when you're trying to defend and trying to battle somebody, that high side is going to be the way to go, but only for a couple laps until the race starts getting down to it. And if there's a late caution where you can get some fresh tires, where you can burn those tires and afford it. But I mean, you can see Adam right now. He's dropping like a rock again. He was up there, and now he's starting to lose it again because he was running the high side and starting to heat up those tires. He's getting really, really loose right now. You could tell on that bottom line, he's turning that wheel left and right, trying to keep the car under control. But it's going to be Dustin Bali going to be getting around Adam for that spot in the 11th right now. He's working his way towards Brady Powers.
Carter Dyson going for a pass here on Blake Hoppy in the back, trying to get up behind Jackson Samsel. Blake driving it in on exit, blocking him from completing the pass entirely. They're running side by side just behind them. Michael Gudger and Chris Hahn.
Oh, we got a
Samuel
caution.
Stoner, rather. We do have Brady Powers. It's Brady Powers on the track.
Brady Powers. Let's see what happened.
It looks like everybody managed to just get around him. This is good news for Jay Bast.
Dustin Bali's going to get into him. So it looks like Dustin didn't anticipate him dropping down like he did, trying to take that big arc into the corner. And Dustin was on the brakes. I could see that rear end point up in the sky. So it was a complete accident. I bet you the 21 feels super bad.
He's in there apologizing to him for sure. There's mutual respect in these, you know, between a lot of these drivers. So there's a little bit of leeway in things. It's early. It looks like Brady managed to hold that brake perfectly in the middle. Everybody managed to split around him. So he's not dealing with damage really. A little bit of burn up tires probably, but he should be good to get back into this and keep going. Michael Gudger is pitting.
That's going to be very interesting. He's the only car coming down pit road.
Was it lap 17? Are we on lap 17? Because my thing was a little weird earlier.
We are on lap 17.
Okay, good. I want to make sure I wasn't a little crazy there, but it looks like my overlay system has caught up. And a fast repair. He takes a fastie. Wow, he must have caught damage somewhere that we didn't end up seeing.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and look at it.
You'll have to give us a report on what you find there.
I don't see any damage that he got. Maybe scratched the wall here and there, but that looks like it's it.
Unless something happened to knock his wheels out of alignment, I'm not sure why he felt he needed to get down there. But Michael Gudger is going to pop out and come to the back of this pack. Like I said, good thing for Brady Powers. He is making a big showing here, running his first independent race after the split with Mach 1 Racing. And making it into the feature right off qualifying, impressive as is. But he was running up front there, battling with Dustin. Just a mishap ends up turning him, but you know, a lot of professionalism. You can see why the split is oh so important on a track this small. On a short track like this, that could have been a big pile up with a lot of people behind that. But instead, that car is now still running on this track, and we're, you know, we're all just patiently waiting in line to get back ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still gutted for those guys that didn't make it, unfortunately, but it is what it is. It's what the cards are dealt, right?
Well, a thing to note is that it's gutting because you don't make it, but there are 3 other races, and only 3, that are going to be short tracks where people are going to have to make the same cut. And, you know, if they manage to make that cut, they're going to feel that sense of pride, that sense of, oh man, I did it, I made it. So I'm not sure that, you know, I hope these guys just realize that what they're feeling right now, as unfortunate as it is, that they didn't end up making the feature here tonight, and the B main, you know, is more of like a consolation, that this isn't like their season done. They're gonna get to race we have, like I said, I think only 3 more of these, and then we have 3 more full tracks, and who knows? I mean, we could have people cycle out of the league. We could have people who started here tonight, they don't come back, you know, and that's going to clear up this field. And that might change things for these guys who are trying to make, trying to make their way into a feature.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's kind of what we had anticipating going into this, though, is that people are going to be bummed out. People are going to be butthurt, but it's also going to make you, like you said, have that sense of pride making the show. Because even then, 22 cars is a big field. Like, it's no slouch of a field. A lot of officials don't even do this many cars, so it's pretty prideful to be able to make the show on your first bout here.
Absolutely. And again, an important thing to notice, Jacob Bradley, he's been here from the first race. Mach 1 literally showed up, you know, the initial iteration that would become Mayday Racing. Jacob Bradley and Brady Power showed up right before Daytona. They've been here for every race. Jacob Bradley, of course, won last week, and he is looking strong already so far tonight as well here at Iowa. And he's got 2 teammates supporting him. Logan Monteith, he won the season opener at Daytona. He's looking to sneak his way in. Steve Loving is still itching for that first win of the season. He is long overdue for it. He's definitely had the runs to get there, and he is definitely running a really good race up front right now. Just needs to get that catch up on these guys that are ahead of them as we come around for this green flag. And we're heading back, and just like that, a big, man, I tell you, I know that Jacob can get a really incredible boost off the start, but it almost looked like that 58 he pushed him, you know, with the way that start happened. And just like that, 27 falling back, the 99 ready to keep pace. 27 is probably going to try to get up in here, Steve Loving, get himself a little more acquainted with everybody. The 11 car, Brian Brobst, running that Pennzoil scheme, very big fan. He's coming his way up in here, trying to make a little... Oh, Connor Morse coming in real tight down low. He holds it, and he makes the pass on Tyler to Talent. Tyler backs off.
Oh, he slides right up.
That was a very clean slide job, if anything, too. I mean, they're
much so.
And the thing was, watching that for Connor there, he was looking to see if he was clear to make that slide up. He was holding down there, and once he had clearance, he made the full pass. So that was a very good move on his part. This is big moves coming from him there. You see Robert Brobst trying to make the pass on Tyler to Talent, and Dustin Bally also.
Connor's going to make another move. Connor making another move going into 3.
Making a move on Brian Brobst.
And he's going to slide, and
he holds down.
Brian is not going to give him the room. Brian is not going to give him the time of day. It's early in the race.
He doesn't get into, nobody gets into each other there. That's good to see. Absolutely, just a hard-fought fight right here. Very good car control off of Connor from that initial almost slide job that he tried to throw on him. You know, holding it down, not coming up, and not checking your sides there. Like I said, there's a reason this kid's fast, and there's a reason he's all the way up here. So, I mean, just this season is going to be a huge stepping point. And, you know, he's probably not going to be transferring over to trucks. I'm not sure, actually. We'll have to talk to Impact a little bit more when we do inevitably launch our truck series coming. But, you know, if he is staying down in ARCA, he could be a contender for championship pretty easily next season.
Especially with that split too, with East and West, I think he has a great chance of winning quite a few races, let alone a championship. I'm going to be very surprised if he doesn't win a race next season, if he stays in ARCA, that is.
I apologize for
But
the
looking at this
tower tonight,
battle for the
folks.
lead,
I know the tower
look at this
keeps
battle for the lead
folding
coming.
up and not unfolding when I'm telling it to, but we'll make sure to... might just be a little bit of a code error on my part there, so I'll make sure to take a look into that, and I'll keep having to double check. But yeah, as we take a look back up here, there, man, look at the gap between second and third. A full second running between them. And meanwhile,
Also,
Jacob Bradley
you know what I'm
and
noticing?
Jonathan Cofield are just running away.
I'm noticing that Cofield is pulling him in ever so slightly, about 2/100ths per lap. So we're going to see what it is this time. It was 0.316. It is going to be 0.324. He finally extended it a little bit by 100th, but that's less than 100th actually. We're going to see if Cofield can keep this car under him and keep the pressure on Jacob Bradley. I mean,
Ooh,
Jonathan, this is his second race,
Brian
but
Probst
we're
with
going to
some
see.
big passes. Comes up on a pass on Connor Morse. He also looked like, I believe he passed Robert Probst as well. Passing two cars in one turn there. Adam Boyle's coming down below Robert Probst as well. Trying to make the pass on that 5 car. The 5 car now coming down trying to get underneath, either throwing the block on the 22 or trying to see if he can get a run on the 89. Dustin Bally kind of hanging in the back there. This is not a normal spot to see Dustin Bally. It is a top 10. You know, that is, you know, it's nothing to scoff at whatsoever, being up in that top 10 position. But Dustin's usually a guy who's fighting himself a little more up front. So that just goes to show if a guy like Dustin, who won Atlanta and, you know, almost won Watkins Glen, you know, except for the tangle up with Jacob Bradley. Bradley, you know, obviously being leading in that race at the time. If a car and a driver who's that fast and that skilled is kind of middling around top 10, that just goes to show you this track might just be a little tough. This field might be a little harder to get through than it normally would be.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this field is just so stacked right now. It's pretty insane to see that somebody like Dustin Bally, who is definitely top 5 speed almost every single week, is running in 10th right now and kind of struggling with cars behind him, like the talent who's coming back to the field. Adam Boyle's obviously starting deep in the pack, already up halfway of what he started. He's up to 9th now. Started 18th. Robert started 13th. He's up to 8th. Everybody inside the top 10, it looks like, has moved up except for Dustin Ball. Oh, even Dustin Bally has.
It makes you wonder here. I mean, what do you think the pitch strategy is going to be for a race like this at this point?
Well, it looks like right now that we're
Logan
knock on wood,
Monteith
getting a lot of green flag runs, and
Logan Monteith is going around Johnny Rapp. He's trying to complete the pass. Steve Loving just behind them. Logan backs off a little bit. He's going to try to catch the run again. Steve actually dropping down. He's going to go for the pass on Monteith here. Doesn't quite get it. Man, this is a very hard track to pass on, it feels like.
yeah, definitely. Like I said, that low line is good for saving tires, but that high line is good for some speed. So Johnny obviously using the high line to defend Logan, but Logan's going to be able to save some tire, and he's going to be able to get that high line and see if he can make a run at it. This is definitely going to be interesting to see where tires come out later in this run, but this gap is down to 0.2 of a second. Down to
Ooh, Jonathan Cofield right on his coattails. Haha. And coming in hot on Jacob Bradley.
He is gaining on him. I wonder if Cofield found something that Jacob Bradley didn't. He looks like he extended the gap a little bit. Jacob did coming off that corner. I think Jonathan got a little too hot going into turn 1. Got a little too excited, but he's still there. This is a close battle. I'm very surprised right now. It looks like Cofield ran him back, too, because there was a
Oh, Logan making the
7/10
pass.
of a second gap before that caution.
Logan has made the
Logan with
pass
the
on
slide
Johnny
job.
Rapp. Johnny Rapp going back to the inside. Did that burn it up too much? No, he's going to hold that outside line. Johnny's going for the pass here. And he's just... Oh! They touch!
They touch!
They touch! And Johnny Rapp
Logan
bounces
gets
off.
him.
Logan holds his line. Says, not today,
Here comes
sir.
Steve Loving.
Steve Loving looking at that outside line, seeing if he can get some speed to make the big pass here on the 52 as well. Put some distance between them. I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter that Steve Loving is on Vintage Racing and Logan Monteith is racing for Evil Empire Motorsports, Evil Empire Simsport, rather. The enemy right now is clearly Payday Racing. You do not want to see these guys taking some kind of podium So all hands on deck working together, I imagine, you know, trying to see who can inch past who and trying to capitalize on those opportunities just so that, you know, you can send yourself ahead at this point, as now the top 5 is shaken quite a bit.
Yeah, and here comes Brian Brobst too, looking to take that spot on Johnny Rapp. I think Johnny burned his tires up a little bit trying to defend against those two, and now he's just blood in the water, and the sharks are all around him.
Brian
So
Brobst is
it
coming
looks
for
like
that
Connor
pass
Morse
right
is
now.
coming up too.
Yeah, I think Johnny Rapp must have burned out his tires a little bit, probably trying to fight those guys. And Logan, as we said, Logan's kind of a master of saving tires, so if he managed to try to do all of those passes he did and save tires more than the defending Johnny Rapp was able to save, that's just really impressive, of course, you know. I mean, like we said, we don't know where pit strategy is going to fall into this. Are people going to be pitting early? Are we going to see green flag pit at some point from guys? I mean, there's a big risk in taking something like that, of course. But I mean, like we said, what's that strategy going to be, and is it going to be better? You know, these payday guys, they showed that they'll do the early pit all together to try to get the better tires and get that speed. But is the later pit maybe the better option? Are these guys going to be able to make it as Brian Brobst completes the pass? Are these guys going to be able to make it?
I just went and checked that actually, and it looks like just sitting in pit lane, I had 129 laps of fuel, so that means they probably have a little bit less. So most likely they are going to have to pit. I wonder if Michael made a strategy call to pit and save a little bit of fuel to make sure that he's good on the rest of it, so he can slide through the field, especially on a late caution or something like that. Like hope for a later caution as everyone's going down pit road, where he's going to have enough fuel, be able to stay out a little bit later, and work his way towards the front from there. Very interesting. That gap, though, between second and third, well, first and third, I guess, is increasing up to 3 seconds now. It was at 2.7 a couple laps ago, but this gap between first and second shrinking again. It was at 0.3, now it's at 2.
And Tyler DeTalon is also making a battle for Robert Brobst back here, as that's occurring simultaneously. Oh, Robert gets a little bit loose. That's going to be enough. Tyler's going to make the pass here.
Yeah, what a good move by Tyler. He's coming back through the field. He was outside the top 10 for a second, but he's right back in it, and he's working his way through the field again.
Tyler doesn't quite complete the pass, but he's definitely got his number. Dustin Bally sending it side by side with Adam Boyles.
I wonder how Connor is going to do around Johnny Rapp. I mean, those two are closing it quick on Johnny Rapp, that pack behind Johnny, that is. And I wonder how easy it's going to be for Connor to get around him. I wonder if he, being the young, energetic kid that he is, if he's saving tires or not.
That's an excellent question. I mean, I don't know if there's any strategy that goes on in that kid's mind. I think he just gets behind the wheel and he just kind of feels it. And for some reason, he just has natural ability to feel it and make it happen. So, I mean, even with how conservative he's trying to be, he knows he's being looked at, and he's, you know, he wants to show that he's, you know, he's got what it takes without having to throw anything dirty or without having to throw anything a little reckless. He can do this clean. And, I mean, look at what he's showing us already tonight. Climbing up to 7th here.
Jacob Bradley in the wall. Jacob Bradley touched the wall in the straightaway.
Jonathan Cofield not quite closing the gap here either.
We're going to see what it is after this lap, but Jacob got in the wall pretty good. Like, I saw the right front touch that fence. It got sucked in there, but I don't think it's going to do anything too bad arrow-wise unless he keeps on making that same mistake. That's a rare mistake, though, from Jacob Bradley, that is. You can see the tire marks from last lap.
Catching up. As we take a look at the split there, he is closing the gap a bit, coming out of corner exit.
So going through this field here, though, look inside the top 10. Dustin Bally now outside of the top 10. Adam Boyles is going to secure that spot, going 8 spots from the starting spot, but we're almost 3 wide here. Adam Boyles with a huge run on exit of 4. He's going to look to make it 3 wide going into the corner. Tyler DeTalon's going to pull ahead. He is side by side with Robert Brobst,
Dustin
though.
Bally holding
And
that
here
middle
comes Dustin
line.
Bally.
And he's going to follow in behind Adam, actually.
They're
The draft
2 by
lines
2
on a
almost.
track like this, I mean, is the draft, how helpful is the draft at this point when you're in this kind of situation? I mean, you'd imagine that the draft would be something you might be able to get up behind a car and then kind of make a pass on, but It looks like people are just having trouble getting up to make runs on people at this point.
It is very, very slight, the draft is. On that back straightaway and the front straightaway, you can definitely feel a pull. It's just big enough to where you will get pulled in a little bit, but not big enough to cause a huge difference. You can definitely use it to upset some people's some air, though. You could definitely use it to upset some air, make the other person burn up their tires.
Looks like Adam might just have the pass, but Robert's not giving it to him just yet still. But Adam definitely is out ahead, and he's just got enough to clear in front. Checks up Robert just like that. Robert was not just going to give it to him. He said, spin yourself across my nose, see if I care. And it almost turned out badly for both of them.
That. Yeah, he is not happy about that. But look who's in this battle now. Here comes Carter Dyson. He was running in 12th for a little bit and just working his way through that gap between him and that 4-car battle. And look where he is now, saving a little bit of tire, I'm sure, and gonna see if he can make his way through this pack.
And you know, there was a post on our Facebook, Backmarkers Racing, on our Facebook page earlier, detailing Carter Dyson and how his season is going, and asking, is he going to be able to find the speed? I mean, looking at how he finishes here, I don't think that really changes anything. He made the feature on qualifying. I mean, he definitely found something here tonight, as his teammates coming up real close on him, looking to take that outside. Blake Hoppy, of course, also a very phenomenal driver, very hot-headed. He is a colorful personality here. Oh!
He makes it 3 wide. What a move.
Wow.
Robert touches the fence, and he's going to make it 3 wide for a brief second. Carter's going to be able to take the top side and try to defend against his teammate, but going back to what you
Robert's
were saying,
coming in underneath him.
Here he comes. Wow, what a battle.
Robert getting so tight on Blake Hoppy, and he's going down for that pass. It's very rare that you see the biggest fight happening outside of that front 5, but here we are.
Right?
And we're outside of the top 10 as well.
This 4-car battle between Connor Morris, Tyler DeTalent, Adam Boyles, and Dustin Bally, they are right on top of each other. It looks like Connor came back to that 3-car pack, and Dustin Bally to the inside of Adam Boyles, and he's going to be able to make that move stick.
Ooh. Wow, Tyler got a little too loose.
It looks like he's going to keep a good run on exit somehow. Tyler DeTalent going right towards the wall, getting a really good exit. Tyler to the inside of Connor already. What a move down that straightaway.
And he must have cut quite a diamond on that, because he was right up against that wall and just turned it left coming out of there.
Look who's coming back up, though. So Steve Loving had dropped off a little bit. There's a 3-car
Tyler
battle.
DeTalent hits Connor Morse. Tyler doors Connor Morse there. Connor trying to regain himself, almost slides into Dustin. Manages trying to regain himself here. Oh no, Adam trying to make a shove. Dustin shoved in between them.
That was a Dustin sandwich right there. That was scary, but those 2 Impact boys are going to give him just enough space to let him live, and they're still side by side coming off that corner.
Just behind him. Wow.
So Tyler was definitely on the radio quick with that one. He said, Connor, I am so sorry. I was on the brakes trying to feather it and keep it off of you. And you could definitely tell there was a little bit of a smile in Connor's voice. He's enjoying it, man. I mean, he said, it's all good, man. Don't worry. And he's looking strong, man. I'm very, very proud of Connor. That turnaround in 2 races has been very solid so far. Hopefully he can keep it up.
Yeah, absolutely. What's happened up here? The 52. Johnny Rapp is down on the apron.
Hard.
Brian Brobst in the wall, Johnny Rapp also. Wow.
They both fenced it hard. I'm surprised that didn't bring out a caution. That was close to one. But, wow, that's a big shakeup inside the top 5.
Oh! This is such tight racing back in here.
Battle. This is insane. We have Brian looking at Connor right now. He's to the inside. Man, we got side by side all over the place. The 11's going to keep his nose in there, and he's not going to get a good enough exit. Blake going to be looking at the outside. Blake's there.
Dustin Bally makes a pass on Johnny Rapp. Johnny really was fighting to hold that position, but it just wasn't enough. Steve Loving! Steve Loving's pitting on the green. Steve is taking a green pit.
This is going to be really interesting to see where he ends up after this. I wonder if he's doing a strategy call, or I wonder if they just had to get fuel this early. So Dustin's pitting in now, too. This may be a big strategy call. Short pitting and trying to get to the front, especially after all that. A lot of people said that the tires are not going to last 60 laps. A lot of people are pitting. Here comes Brian. Brian Bropes pitting as well. Jay Bast pitting.
And that sounds like a team call from the Off the Wall Racing crew.
And here comes Jackson Samsel as well. I wonder if these tires just got so bad that they just couldn't hang on. I wonder if they're starting to wear out that either right front or right rear.
Jackson Samsel,
Wow,
of course,
this
your
is
driver
really
in
interesting.
Backmarkers Racing, races for your team. And they, Off the Wall Racing and Backmarkers Racing work really closely together, and they're in the same team chat talking to each other. So that must have been a full team strategy that was just called between teams even. So, I mean, there's definitely a lot of thought going into this. It makes you wonder, is this going to be something where they're going to be able to make a catch-up on Jacob Bradley? Or is them being put a lap down going to be an issue at this point? As Dustin Bolly's now exiting pits, so is Brian Brobst. Are they going to be able to catch up and make that difference as these cars are just zooming around? Jonathan Cofield is a lot of distance has been put between him and Jacob Bradley. Wow.
Yeah, that is a massive gap. I wonder if he just fell off or made a little mistake or thought about pitting and hesitated or something. But here comes Dustin Bolly. We're going to see how good those new tires are compared to the old.
Dustin Bolly with a very easy pass on Jonathan Cofield. I imagine Jonathan might not have even bothered fighting that, especially with a car that's a lap down now. Just go ahead and send him by. Jacob Bradley as well, letting Brian Brobst right past him. Oh, that is some severe audio backlash here.
Group of pitters, I wonder what their strategy is going to be. Obviously, I think they can make it to the end now. So I'm wondering if they had about 90 laps of fuel in the tank, or maybe like 100 or so, and they wanted a short pit, hope for a caution, and get back up to the front on strategy once everything cycles around. But Jacob Bradley yet to come in, Jonathan obviously yet to come in, Logan, Tyler DeTalent up inside fourth right now. Him and Johnny Rapper battling. They're side by side right now. This is going to be a good battle right here because Adam is right behind him as well as Blake Hoppy. Connor Morrison not too far behind either. And look at Carter Dyson, man. Up inside ninth. And he is going to be trailing
Blake
down
Hoppy
that
catching
89.
all the way up on Adam Boyles there. I don't know if you saw that. He got right up behind him. He had a much better exit on that turn.
Yeah, he did. He's ripping that high side.
Look, here he goes.
Connor is going to be coming down pit road next time by. Blake to
Hoppy.
the inside of Adam, making a great move.
Blake Hoppy, he's tasted that podium before this season. He wants it again.
Yeah, definitely. He is very much a hot head, like you said, and he is also a fierce competitor. Adam Boyle's coming in. Here comes Connor as well.
Pitting as well.
Team.
Impact Racing making a call here.
Going to be interesting to see if anybody else comes in. Here comes Dade. Last car in the lead lap was Dade. They're side by side in the pit lane right now. Adam Boyles goes into his pit. He's about halfway through the field. Or halfway through the pit lane, that is. Sorry. And we have
the worst case
Connor
scenario
Morse.
for everybody who has pitted at this point is for a yellow flag to come out.
That is correct. They want to get back on that lead lap. They don't want to have to rely on a wave around and not get their advantage of fresh tires. They want this thing to play out and have a caution after they're back on the lead lap. Let them get that advantage of the fresh tires. And it's going to be interesting to see what the rest of the race has in store for us, man, because that's very interesting, pitting that early before halfway.
Yes,
Connor and Adam out on pit road.
There's every chance they're going on a two-pit strategy. Maybe they anticipate Payday Racing going for a single pit. Do you think that two-pit strategy can even work? If they, maybe if they're able to close enough distance and put enough distance between Jacob Bradley, Jonathan Cofield, who are that pretty strong, front two, would, getting those fresher tires late race give them a fighting chance against those more used tires if Payday Racing were to only pit around the 100-lap mark?
I don't think so. Oh, Adam Luce right in front of the leader as well. That was scary, I bet, for Jacob Bradley. But what you're saying was, I don't think that the two-stop. Sorry, my words are all tied up right now too. My throat is still very sore. But I don't think that two-stop is gonna work very well. It is just a little bit too slow on that long run because it takes about 24 seconds to get down pit road and obviously do your stop. So all that combined, you're losing about 30 or so seconds with a four-tire stop.
Well, we got a fight between Brady Powers and Carter Dyson.
You can't make up a minute.
Trying to send it too. Jackson Samsel going
like
all the way to the bottom
I was
here.
having a little bit of Wi-Fi issues.
Underneath Brady Powers. Yeah, that's very valuable input, I believe, Tyler. I mean, like you said, is it even wise? I mean, if this is what they took now at not even
Well,
halfway,
56 with a big slide.
if this is what they
56 was
took it with not
sliding
even
3 and 4.
halfway, are they going to be sitting fine in terms of tires? I mean, is it going to be that big of a deal? You know, I mean, Jacob Bradley and Jonathan Cofield, I would not be surprised at all to see them make the difference here as Steve Loving makes the pass on Brady Powers.
Brady Powers is pitting in. Jacob Bradley down pit road. Cofield's going to take the lead. He's going to lead his first laps of the season.
And that's extra team points. Absolutely. That is a very good strategy call. At least get a couple of a lap or two led there and then come in for the pit.
We're going to see what he does here. He's going to stay on out. Let's see what Logan does. Logan is coming down pit road. Here comes, it looks like all of Evil Empire except for Blake.
Are staying out.
Carter Dyson coming down. Michael Boyle's coming down. Oh, here comes Cofield this time by.
And Jacob Bradley on his way out already.
The leader's pitting now, iRacing says, and Jonathan it looks like Tyler the Talent.
Tyler the Talent about to come around. And he's going to be leading this race.
Yes, he is. He's going to get his first laps led of the season.
Tyler the Talent leading this race for the first time this season, getting laps led bonuses. Wow, oh wow, I want to know what the in-car sounds like for him right now. Blake Hoppy going to that outside. Tyler's going to go ahead and pit. He said, you know what, I got it. I'm happy. Let's go ahead and pit, save those tires. Blake Hoppy going to
lead a lap. He's going to get
laps led here as well. There's a lot of strategy going on in this move here, that's for sure.
Yes, there is. It's pretty interesting to see how this is all playing out. I mean, this is what those guys that are staying out really late wanted, such as Blake and such as Tyler. They wanted to stay out for a long time and get that lap-led bonus as well as hope for a caution. But it looks like Carter Dyson was stuck on pit road for a while. He may have sped, unfortunately, but he's out of pit road now. He is 2 laps down.
I don't know if you've noticed,
I think he may have made a mistake going on the pit road.
With Blake Hoppy and Joseph Gregory and Michael Gudger all needing to come into a pit soon, you see who that top 5 of who will regain that lap and be taking first position from that point, who will be that new top 5. Look at who's in there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what can you say? They played out their strategy really, really well. Steve Loving going to be the first car lap down, though, so he's going to be holding on for dear life trying to defend.
Right now, Jacob Bradley might be getting the pass. And Steve Loving has a strategy all to himself that he knows, you know, what he wants to see. He's a guy who says, all right, let them burn their shit up. Let me send them on by, you know, and if their stuff gets all burnt, then they're, you know, they're going to have to deal with that later. But the problem is, if you let a guy like Jacob Bradley by very quickly, that could be the last time you see him without him lapping you.
Right, and he is also on fresher tires as well. He just had that big of a gap. And, I mean, there's not much you could do with Steve Loving. These tires degrade so fast here that this surface is just so old and so bumpy and just chews up tires. So if you pit 10 laps later than somebody else and you have those 10-lap fresher tires, you're going to be pulling away quickly like Jacob is doing right now. So it was a Hail Mary call by Steve Loving, but it netted him second place of this current second, and he's going to have to wait another 3 seconds for Jonathan Cofield to come by. Also, we are definitely going to be getting fined and all of our monetization taken away for that one.
Well, you know, I was hoping nobody was listening. No, thankfully there is a there's an 8-second rule on YouTube, and I apologize to the folks at home. That was just a little bit of excitement. That wasn't me talking. I was imitating Steve Loving. Okay, so just
that's right.
Just keep that in mind.
That was a direct quote.
Yes, of course. We like to keep things as clean as possible.
You pause a little bit.
I just got really quiet.
It's okay. I think we're all gonna do it at some point. Robert's on the mic right now saying thanks for the bonehead move. So let's see what happened with him.
Oh wow.
It looks like him and maybe even Logan got into it. So it looks like my graphics card was pooping out on me there. I almost said it. I'm not gonna lie, I almost said it right there. But yeah, it looks like he got shuffled back a little bit. Logan Monteith coming through the field right now.
I'm gonna say it's a miracle that the of all the drivers that have been dealing with stuff so far this season, it's a miracle that the first person to have made that mistake was in fact a broadcaster.
I know, I can't believe it.
Michael Gudger's
Actually,
hitting.
no. Oh, Michael Gudger. He's gonna be dropping like a rock right now.
Joseph
He was
Gregory
a lap down to begin with.
Going for a lap lead here.
He's on the high side. It looks like he got one, so he's gonna be okay with that, and he's gonna have an 8-second lead over Jacob Bradley. I wonder if he's just waiting for that, praying for a caution right now.
And the gap that Jacob Bradley has put between himself and Steve Loving is just something else. I mean, look at this. Jonathan Cofield. Cofield making the pass on Steve Loving as I'm talking. And we're back to the point. I mean, Joseph Gregory's going to have to make this pit here soon. And as soon as he does, we're right back where we were. Only difference is Dustin Bally and Logan Monteith, Steve Loving are all rounding out that top 5 this time around. Oh, Brian Brope's trying to pass Logan Monteith right now. Not quite able to get it.
Oh. Dustin Bally making a move on the lap car of Jackson Samsel is going to let him by. I wonder if Dustin's going to be able to come through this field and see if he can get to Steve, possibly. Looks like he is a little less than 3 seconds back.
Logan Monteith getting around the lap car, Dave Grajewski. Logan also looking to make a pass on Jackson Samsel here. Also sitting a lap down at this point. And then coming up on Dustin Bally with a vengeance. As we turn it in here for just a moment. Hear those cars roar a little bit as we get in a little bit closer on these cameras.
These cars just sound so good. I love the sound of these cars.
Logan Monteith is closing that gap and fast. I mean, he is looking at making the pass now, I presume, and he is going to.
Yeah, he just
very easily. It just comes right around. Oh man, what a phenomenal
Bally definitely
talent.
laying off a little bit.
There's something to be said about somebody like Jacob Bradley and Jonathan Cofield being fast and navigating their way back to where they are. But when you watch somebody like Logan Monteith fight from where he was in the back there all the way up to now on the lead lap to get himself into that top 5 position, I mean, it's a thing of beauty. And Joseph Gregory is being passed by Jacob Bradley right now. I imagine, I mean, man, Jacob Bradley caught him. Just Joseph Gregory, he hasn't pitted yet from what I can recall. Is he going to go in here? I mean, it's going to end up putting him a lap down with everybody else now at this point, where he might have made it out before. But, I mean, he looks like he just can't quite make it stick. He's losing speed very fast as Jonathan Cofield is approaching Jay Bass.
So Jacob Bradley is going to retake the lead, and he just put on a clinic thus far, and it looks like he's trying to be our first multi-winner this season, and
Whoa,
he's
Connor
putting on
Morris.
a clinic, man.
Connor Morris trying to send it to the inside of Brian Brobst. Gets a little close to it. Doesn't quite make it. Brian Brobst now making his way around Jackson Samsel. Connor Morris going to look to do the same here. This has been a very, very competitive race, and it is something to behold that we have gotten
Very
as far as we
impressive.
have. I mean, of course, no jinxing anything here, but even if it did right now, not having a caution and having the green flag run that we've had to this point has been an incredible thing to watch. But I think the last yellow flag we had was the Brady Power spin, and that was somewhere around the first 10 laps or so, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was within the first maybe 16. I think it was lap 16 where Brady was around. But once again, Brady coming through the field, man. He has proved himself coming through the field. If he can maintain a front running spot, I feel like he's going to give some people some trouble.
Brady Powers is definitely a strong driver. You know, there's definitely a lot of stock in him at this point. I know a lot of team owners are probably kicking themselves right now thinking like, man, I got full charters. I'd love to bring this guy on board. But Brady, like I said, you know, when we did our report on him earlier, whoa, Dustin diving down. Getting out of the way of Michael Gudger there. Letting Gudger by. Gudger's just faster, I guess. He's lapped down. Don't bother fighting him. Don't lose the tires. Just let him swing by, I guess. But as I was saying, you know, I mean, Brady Powers is very optimistic about the rest of his season. He's very optimistic about his outlook and how he's going to be able to perform. And he has a lot of opportunity to kind of work with other teams here and there and kind of get a feel for what he wants to do at this point as a free agent, and a very hot commodity of a free agent of that as well. And I know right now he's currently kind of working with Impact Racing, just getting a little bit of a partnership going with them to have some support out on that track. So, I mean, he's making big moves at this point. Steve Loving passing Joseph Gregory now as well. Joseph Gregory just falling back through this pack. I mean, he's not going to be able to maintain this pace for 50 laps. So it makes you wonder when he's gonna come in for that pitting maneuver at this pitting maneuver. Yeah, I hope he doesn't do that. When he's gonna pit in here sometime. Logan Monteith looking to come around too.
Man, this is pretty interesting to see how long he's been staying out for. He is finally coming down pit road. He just mentioned on the mic. He's gonna drop to 4th place before he pits, and he's gonna drop like a rock from here. He's gonna try and get on the brakes. That car is gonna get real tight on him. He's gonna drift up a lane, but he looks like he's gonna make it very cleanly down pit road in that old Jimmy McMurray car. That was a good-looking race car.
Absolutely, love that car. And I mean, hey, you know, that strategy, we can say what we want all day. This is his first showing in the Backmarkers ARCA League, and he led laps. You know, I mean,
yeah,
all of those points matter. He is in at least the top 17, or top 18 rather. No, top 19. I can't count. Sorry, he's currently in the top 19, but he could be in the top 22 if I'm correct. The full amount of people on this field. This is a problem when it didn't kick people out of the race.
Right. Well, we have a big congested field right here. We have Adam Boyles in 9th, Robert in 10th, Brady in 11th, Tyler in 12th, and here comes Blake in 13th, and not too far behind is Michael Boyles. We got all these cars under a blanket right now, and Jackson Samsel looking like he's holding up a couple people being a lap down. It looks like he sped on pit road as well. But these 4 cars right here are they're gonna get tight on each other real fast, and
Brady
here
Powers
comes Blake too, gonna
already making
make
a
couple
move
moves
on Adam Boyles. And he's gonna get that pass. No, Adam drives it in real tight. He gets it sticking on the exit. Adam's gonna hold him.
Yeah, side by side. It's that outside lane. It's good for defending, but you just got to hold on to your tires, man. I mean, that's going to be the biggest part of it. Robert is looking in between them, kind of looking at that gap in between, I guess, making sure everything's all clear between those two. He wants to be able to make a nice little avoidance.
He's just window shopping right now. He sees something he wants, but he knows he needs a little bit more money.
Here comes Tyler on the bottom. The talent on the bottom of the track right there. It looks like he's trying to make a good move on Robert, but here comes Blake forcing it 3 wide.
Blake Hoppy shoving him right out of his way, practically. A force of nature, Blake Hoppy is saying, I'm coming through here, whether you like it or not.
And here comes Robert fighting back, though. He's going to get a nose at his quarter panel.
Robert is saying, I did not like that, in fact. And
But here comes Tyler the Talent looking low. Oh, almost gets to his bumper. Tyler's going to drop to the bottom of the track and see if he can get a solid run coming off. Robert looking a little bit loose, not able to get to the wall.
Brady Powers looking to the inside of Adam Boyles up here as well. Trying to make
These two are going to be side by side for a minute. These two are so fast, and they're basically the same speed, so they're going to be burning each other's stuff off, and Brady's looking at that like, Blake is looking at that, licking his chops, getting ready to take 2 spots and get himself up inside that top 10.
Tyler to Talent really trying to throw it down there, but he doesn't have it. He's going to fall back in line, try again. And as we do come around here, we're coming up on lap 110 out of 150 on this race. I want to once again say thank you to our race sponsor, M99 GRAFX, here at the M99 GRAFX 150 at Iowa Speedway. M99 GRAFX is, of course, our very own Logan Monteith, who makes custom iRacing liveries and schemes. Please do go give him a follow and show him support on his Instagram page, where he shows off all his great creations and his races. That is at M99_GRAFX, at M99_GRAFX on Instagram. Go drop him a follow and give him some love.
Well, now that we are 110 laps in, we only have 40 laps to go. Let's do a real quick run through the field. So, first off, I'll kick it off with Jacob Bradley. I mean, he's led most of the laps tonight. He has a 2.3 second gap over Cofield, who was running him down during that first run right after the caution and before the pit cycle. He was running him down, but right now it looks like he has this race. Knock on wood for Jacob Bradley. He has this race in the bag right now as long as he keeps the wheels under him. Moving on to second, though, Jonathan Cofield, like I said, 2.3 seconds back, been running second basically all night. Had a good start. I think he started third or fourth. Had a good start, got around Steve Loving, and from there got past his teammate, his rookie teammate, Johnny Rapp, and never really looked back from second. Third place, we have Logan Monteith, up inside the podium all night, qualified outside the top 5, but worked his way up through there and has a nice home on the podium right now. But right behind him is Steve Loving, one of our surprising non-victorious racers this season. One of the few that we really had circled for this championship. Hasn't had a win yet, but running fourth, I mean, points are points in this championship. That's all you can really ask for. Points are more valuable than wins. And right now, he is running up inside a consistent fourth. I don't think he's really ran outside the top 5 all night. And throughout the season as well, he hasn't ran outside the top 5 until bad luck hits him, and he finishes deep in the pack. And rounding out the top 5 is going to be Dustin Bally. He was outside the top 10 for quite a bit, but an early pit stop with Steve Loving kind of netted him some strategy gains, and he's running up inside the top 5 right now. Rain?
Yes, indeed. It's very succinct recap there of our top 5. I mean, just falling outside of that, though, the remainder of this field, Johnny Rapp, Brian Brobes, Blake Hoppy, Connor Morris, Adam Boyles, these are all names that have been steadily running at it. And you know, the names just behind outside of that top 10, they are not unfamiliar with being up here in this top 10 position. It has been cycling pretty regularly all night so far tonight.
Oh, back to this battle, though.
Yes,
this
indeed.
battle
There's
is
a huge
insane.
Battle back here. 4 wide, practically. Oh, Connor!
Here's some
Connor!
contact.
He's walled. He just got a little loose, that's all. He takes it up into the wall. Nobody affected. It's unfortunate Connor's running good, but a little bit of
he's
just loose.
Yeah, he burned those tires off trying to save it, and that netcode didn't help it with Brady Powers. But let's see if we can get the wheels under him, see if we can get calmed down, get that thing back under him, and see if we can ride it out from here. Adam getting a little tight, it looked like, and he's driving up the hill.
That might be just a team owner looking at his pupil saying, "Hey, if you come down, you're hitting me, so don't do it."
Trying to pin him up top, trying to show him who's boss right now, trying to get around him.
Yeah, Connor definitely has burned up his tires. He needs to cool those things down. He needs to run that outside line for a little bit here. Let those things cool off a little bit so he can regain a little bit of traction. I mean, what do you... Instead, he's throwing it right back down. This seems like a dangerous move with how loose he's been. But when you're that loose and you can feel your car, you're losing control of it.
Let's look at who's lurking, though. Look at Tyler to Talent.
Yes, absolutely. And Tyler coming in real tight behind him. Probably going to try to dive in for a pass here. He sees the gap's closed a little bit. But as I was saying, you know, Connor, with how loose he is, I mean, when you need to cool off your tires in a jiff, I mean, everybody's running at such high speeds, high temperatures. I mean, that strategy, what do you do to keep yourself from getting too loose at that point?
Oh, just a lot of throttle control. You have to control that throttle and just drive it on eggshells for a minute, let the tires come back down to normal operating temperature, and then from there you'll have some grip back and you'll be able to start fighting again. Regain that composure as well, regain that focus and reset. But here comes Tyler to Talent to the inside. And, ooh, Jonathan was gaining on Jacob Bradley a little bit, but he got held up by Dade. One of the lap cars Dave Grajewski holding up second place Jonathan Cofield. I don't think he's going to be too happy about that. But we're going to definitely see where they stack up coming up to this next lap. The gap is 1.9 seconds. It was 2.6. I think it was 2.3 earlier. Not too long ago, that is. But we're going to see if Cofield can make his way through the field.
Sorry, Robert Probst. I'm very apologies for that. Robert Probst looking to dive on the inside of the 05. That's a little bit of annoyance for the wrong car number displaying on Michael Boyle's car tonight.
Definitely going to have to smack some sense into him. But let's talk about somebody we haven't talked about all night, it seems. We have the 65 of Samuel Stoner. And I know his family's watching right now, so shout out to them for watching and tuning into BMR. But he's making a move to the inside of Robert Probst right now, looking for that 13th place position. But right behind them, they have the leader. Do you think they halt their battle a little bit, or do they keep on running and try to fight for their own position? It's not their race to lose.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think anything's stopping Jacob Bradley right now. So at this point, keep fighting, keep doing what you got to do. You need to make up those positions. Losing that opportunity right now, just because the leader is kind of coming up on you, you're gonna get passed. That's just the way it's looking right now. So you need to make that call right now, whether you're going to stop fighting for that position and those points that you want so desperately to get ahead of, just because you might end up coming a lap down. I mean, lap down don't change points.
That is very true. You got to fight for what you got, man. I mean, Robert, he's definitely fighting for a top 10 in the championship, trying to secure something here. But whoa, the 65 gets a little loose, it looks like.
A little bit.
Bradley definitely being held up.
He's being very, very calm here. He's patient. I mean, this isn't even strategy at this point. I mean, these cars, they don't have to necessarily come in and yield. I mean, there's definitely a desire to, you know, after a certain point, you want to try to let the leader by. But, I mean, these guys are trying to fight to keep their lap. And
he almost put it 3 wide for a second.
Absolutely. And not just, you know, they're trying to keep themselves from going 1 lap down at this point. I mean, this is just a matter of trying to contain themselves and not lose you know, that lap that's so important. But at the same time, you know, it doesn't hurt to shave a couple seconds off the leader to the guy behind him. Just so happens the guy behind him is his teammate Jonathan Cofield, and then we have a 10-second gap to Logan Monteith.
That is insane. But the gap down to 1.9, so he did lose a little bit of time in that spat with the lap cars, but not much.
Dustin Bolly's making a pass for Steve Loving right now. Johnny Rapp hot on the tail. Wanted to get a little piece of that action.
Yeah, this is a good battle right here too.
Pass, and Johnny Rapp sends it in.
Look at this. This is a great battle right now. The dodge of the of Johnny Rapp. He is putting on a great show as a rookie. Put down a really fast time in qualifying and practice, but this race pace has been pretty interesting as well as he's super loose, cuts it down below Steve. What a move. Side by side going into 1.
Manages to get to the outside of him just in time to avoid any contact. He's going to throw a slide job on him. Gets right in front of Steve Loving. Steve Loving says, "Nah, I'm going to try to take that back, thank you." Got to keep your language clean there, Steve. We can't have another mishap like earlier, man.
Yeah, he's going to have to get fined $600 and 4 championship points.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. Another jump
Johnny
down. Johnny Rapp is just moving so fast right now. It's a little reckless, but, I mean, he's not touching anyone, so it's very loose, though. At some point, you wonder if this is going to backfire on him, but he is desperately trying to close up. He wants to be up there. I can imagine what that Payday Racing, you know, team chat is currently saying to each other on team radio, and I imagine it sounds a little something like this. Hey, Johnny, 1, 2, 3.
Man, that was an incredible move. 2 laps in a row as well, and he's pulling away too from those 2. Dustin and Steve definitely on older tires than Johnny Rapp, and I wonder if Johnny's going to be able to get to Logan Monteith by the time this is over. We only have 20 laps to go, and this gap has basically grew just a tiny bit, 2/10 from 3 laps ago, I think it was, where it was 1.9, it is now up to 2.2 seconds between Jacob Bradley and Jonathan Cofield. I wonder if Jonathan's kind of hanging tight, waiting for something to happen, or saving a little bit of tire, waiting for Jacob to fall off a little bit, or what, man? Because Jacob Bradley's just been dominant all night, but he's stuck in between Michael Boyles and Connor Morse right now. Those 2 aren't giving him any space either.
And as we come to the 20 to go, Want to give a big shout out to the people who've been active in our chat so far. Taylor Andrews, KB, Steve McDonald, Nathan Gentry, who was participating in the B main earlier, GT Cup Challenge, and Stop Motion Brothers. Thank all you guys for participating. We
And not
definitely
only that,
love
too,
to see
but-
everybody throwing love and talking with one another in chat. It's a little hard for us to peel our eyes away from what's going on stream and being able to fully commentate with that, but we do appreciate you guys interacting. We try to keep an eye on what's going on out there.
Definitely. And Nathan, if he's still watching, I mean, with this new ARCA East-West coming out next season, we have a new sponsor too with the West Series, and that's going to be Nathan's very own company.
Yes, indeed. A little more information will be coming out very soon here. And especially not only that, but there will be the announcement for the new truck series coming soon as well, with a schedule dropping. We'll have a pretty cool video package put together, something like that. We'll start running as an ad pretty soon in our races here. So everybody get very excited. A lot of these names that you're seeing right now running ARCA. The new... Oh, Carter Dyson in the wall.
Oh no, man. He has had such an unfortunate thing. I mean, we were talking about it earlier. Qualified inside the top 10 every single race, qualified 11th this race. And he was running inside the top 10, but he came down pit road and it looked like he sped a little bit. So he had to get held down pit road, and he's now 2 laps down. And just misfortune following him again after a solid run.
Absolutely. Dustin Bally, he's trying to stay hot on the trails of Johnny Rapp with 15 to go. I bet he's probably saying to himself, you know what? I don't really need to hold these tires. They're pretty strong. Let's just try to get that momentum and get up there and, you know, keep him from getting up to I mean, it's going to be a long shot for him to catch up to Logan Monty at this point, because Logan has definitely pulled away again. But for Johnny Rapp, he is running fast. Dustin Bally, I mean, 5th is great, but Dustin is not a guy who's going to settle. He's going to pull himself up into 4th as soon as he can. And, I mean, that's what's going to be so interesting coming in here as we get close to 10 to go. And we've still been running a green flag run this entire time. You know, hopefully we're going to continue to see that happen here and get, I mean, probably one of the first full clean runs we've had. That wasn't, you know, Watkins Glen, but that doesn't count. Local cautions, right? So, I mean, what an incredible race we've witnessed so far.
Yeah, this race has had a lot of comers and goers, a lot of strategy calls, and it has been a fantastic race. So far, knock on wood, only 1 caution, which has been incredible. And I mean, that was the goal with the 22 car main event, is having the limited cautions with a lot of talent still in the field. I mean, obviously we had a lot of talent get eliminated.
Speaking of talent, Tyler DeTalent coming up for the pass on Steve Loving, edging him out of the top 10.
Let's go, Tyler DeTalent, man. The Lee's Clint Boyer, he is ripping right now. Obviously, Steve Loving had to get those tires early. We keep on mentioning it. Those tires are so valuable, especially at a track like this. But here comes Tyler. Uh-oh.
Oh,
I see.
we have a crash. Connor Morse, Samuel Stoner involved. No yellow?
Caution.
We need to go take a look, see what happened here.
No caution. It looks like the 89
Samuel's coming in
got
tight here.
into the wall.
Oh, yeah, Connor just, he got a little too loose and he tried to correct it. And that's them tires right now. He's known he's been having a little bit of an issue. Was it bad enough that it ruined Samuel Stoner's run here? It's really unfortunate.
So it definitely took him out. They were both stuck on the bottom. But Connor was instantly on the mic apologizing. He sounded super, super apologetic. And it was more of a racing incident than it was just over-aggression. He just hit the wall, and I mean, you know how these cars act when they get into the fence. They just want to come down the track instantly when you pull the wheel. But unfortunate, but we're still racing here. Still only 1 caution with less than 10 to go. Brady Powers spamming in the chat, in the iRacing chat. Connor is wrecking. So,
he's been waiting to use that. He programmed it in before the last race with Connor coming back that last race, and Connor didn't wreck last race, so he's been itching to get a chance. Oh man, that's really heartbreaking. Connor, of course, he's probably feeling very overwhelmed, very worried about how that just turned out. But I mean, a good spotter, a good crew chief is going to make all the difference of whether you should correct out of that or not. I mean, it definitely was a little bit of an overcorrection coming out of that wall where he got loose coming down. I imagine if he knew for sure someone was on his side, he probably would have just held it in the wall.
Yeah, for sure. But let's look at this battle for 7th right now. Brian Bropes and Brady Powers, they were nose to tail for a little bit. They got separated by some lap cars, but also here comes Adam Boyles looking at that battle, and Tyler DeTalon as well. Stayed to the top of
Simultaneously,
the track.
Jay Bast is making big moves right now. He was sitting in 22nd just a few moments ago. I was paying attention down to there, and he is now, of course, Connor Morris ends up getting sent back there. Connor, I believe he went down and pitted. But Jackson Samsel, Dade Grajewski have both been passed by Jay at this point. So there's still a fight happening even back there. 3 laps down, 2 laps down, trying to fight for those important positions to get themselves higher in that points championship.
And Jay is still fighting, even though he is 2 laps down. He's trying to show the field that he has that top 7 speed at a minimum. I mean, he's catching Brian Bropes right now. So he's been fast all night. Unfortunately, just had a tough break to start it off. And I think he also made a mistake down pit road where he had to go down and either stay there for a minute or serve a penalty or something, because he was fast and he had an opportunity to get back up through the field. But yeah, just sitting back in 20th, 2 laps down. Obviously running a lot better than his position is right now.
Absolutely, and he's got a lot to prove right now. I imagine he feels internally. I mean, the fact that what we're looking at right now, Jacob Bradley, he's coming up, trying to come up on this top 10 to put them a lap down. Every other car is at least 1 lap down right now, as Jacob Bradley's coming up on Dave Grajewski right now. But when to see somebody like with Brady Powers, who, he's not had a great shake, but driving his first race on his own, basically having to fight for himself the entire way, getting into the feature off qualifying alone, all the way to the point where he is sitting at a very good position of 8th, just inside this top 10. I mean, that he wants to close that gap and get that 7th position. I do want to give a shout out. It looks like Blake Hoppy managed to get around Dustin Bally just a few laps ago. There was a lot going on. We ended up missing it a little bit there. But Blake Hoppy has managed to pull himself into the top 5, passing Dustin Bally.
Yeah, he's having a great run. He started 8th up to 5th right now, and I feel like he's been back and forth throughout the whole night. But that's going to be the checkered flag. Wow, that was quick. And going to be Jacob Bradley coming through.
And here he
taking
comes.
His 2nd win of the season. Our first repeat winner, 2 in a row. 3.8 seconds over Jonathan Cofield. Another payday racing, big turnout. 1, 2, and 4.
Wow, simply incredible. Great work from Jacob Bradley. I'm very hyped right now about it. I love seeing a repeat winner, especially with a dominant performance like that. I just did not realize it was the white flag because of the lap down situation. My overlays were looking a little weird for me tonight, but I'm going to hopefully have that fixed by this next race. But wow, what an awesome race by everyone involved here. As we head down, Jacob Bradley giving us celebration. Jonathan Cofield, teammate, sitting right by, right there at the start finish, ready to take that podium picture. Jacob getting a well-deserved spin, just spinning out here, really going for it. Logan Monteith, let's talk about Logan too. Logan managing to fight his way all the way up, hold off the other Payday Racing car by 3 seconds even, getting all the way up into taking a podium for himself. I mean, what an absolute phenomenal race between these guys. Dustin Bally coming by to give a little respect to these guys as he peels off.
Yeah, that was an incredible race. But I mean, look at let's look at this top 10, man. This has been an incredible top 10. So Jacob Bradley taking home the victory, his 2nd one of the season, 2nd in a row. Jonathan Cofield, he is gonna come home 2nd after a great run, running 2nd all day. Logan Monteith he's gonna round out that podium after a very, very strong run. So Johnny Rapp is gonna come home 4th in his debut, very solid run. And rounding out the top 5, Blake Hoppy, after a massive charge through the field late in that run. Great job by him. And Dustin Bally going to bring it home in 6th after pitting super early. Great job on that strategy call. And outrunning Steve Loving by quite a margin. So Brian Bropes after that and Brady Powers, those two were battling quite a bit throughout the night. But they're going to bring home a respective 7th and 8th. A great run for Brady after having a difficult run at Darlington. So especially after getting let go by his former team, too, of what was Mach 1 Racing, now Payday. A great run from him. Adam Boyles, after starting 18th, is going to finish 9th inside that top 10. A great run from him. And he wasn't even in the show on speed initially, but inside the top 10, man, that's a great run. And then rounding out the top 10, going to be Mr. Tyler DeTalent, the league's Clint Boyer, as we have kept on saying that throughout the evening. We're going to bring him in. What do you think?
Yeah, so we got to talk to Tyler DeTalent.
As per usual,
must.
I mean, I know
led
that he has
laps
a lot
tonight.
of people.
He's finished top 10. He's led laps tonight. We have to talk to Tyler DeTalent.
That is entirely correct. He's such a character, man. We all love him. He is not afraid to roast you, but he's also not afraid to give you some big compliments as well. And speaking of the man, the myth, the legend, he is here, finishing inside 10th. Brought it home last week with 3 wheels and 3
yeah
3 pieces of suspension hanging off the car. But that's inside the top 10. You ran inside the top 5 every once in a while. You led a couple laps, man. Great run.
Yeah, it was that was a fun race. The lack of cautions, getting a lot of green flag run, and really seeing just what everybody could do on some war tires and pit strategy and all that good stuff. It was a good time.
Yeah, man. Only 1 caution tonight, and you were back and forth through the field. A lot of good battles. You were making some big moves. How'd that help your confidence?
Oh, it definitely helped. Just knowing that I could, drive to the outside of somebody and make it stick, because it was just slick all over. And a couple passes on the inside. It was a lot harder to pass on the inside. You couldn't really get the drive off, but man, it was a good time, and I'm plumb wore out.
I can tell, dude, in your voice. Normally, you're super energetic and screaming, and I mean, I am too typically when I'm interviewed with you. So I could tell you were worn out. You could hear it in your voice. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys had to wheel it tonight. Good job, man, on that top 10.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Of course. Anybody want to thank before you go?
Oh yeah. Want to obviously thank the presenting sponsor, M99 GRAFX, for putting this on. I just have a good time with all these guys here. A good group of guys running, and I want to thank everybody that tuned in to watch tonight. My parents. I had a buddy, Brandon, who was texting me during the race, giving me information. Anybody else who decided to tune in, thank you guys. Without you guys, there would be no point in doing this. Round Here Entertainment, Shark RC, 60'6" Foundation, and just you guys for putting on this broadcast, and it's just a good time, and hope to be able to jump in here more often later on down the season.
Sounds good, man. I'm sure we'll get you in here for another at least top 5, maybe even podium, and could even sneak in a win. I could definitely see that in the foreseeable future, but we'll let you go back to your team here. Good run tonight, man. Very awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Such a character. Even when he's tired, dead tired, you could tell in his voice, man. He was
Absolutely.
done.
That is a guy who is just tired, man. He ran a hard one there. I mean, who else do we have in here that we'd want to talk to at this point? I mean, I feel like we could be looking at talking to definitely Johnny Rapp, as he just finished up his first race here, and he almost finished right outside of the right in that 1-2-3, bringing home it for Payday Racing. But we could talk to him, see what he's got to say.
I like it. Let's bring him up into the booth. All right. Mr. Johnny Rapp, you got us up in the booth?
Yeah, I got you. How you doing?
Not too bad, man. How about yourself? A great run to start off your season.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. I'll take it.
So you qualified. It looks like you qualified 3rd, 4th. You qualified 4th. You were up in 2nd for quite a bit. You and Cofield had a good battle, your teammate, and up and down through the field, and you rounded out in 4th. Couldn't get to Logan Monteith, but still an incredible run. You were definitely making some insane moves against looks like Dustin Bally and Steve Loving after cutting down to the inside on the front straightaway. Great showing in your initial race. What you got to say about it?
Hey, well, I definitely had a blast. I do want to apologize. I'm not sure the numbered car. It was a Pennzoil car, like a Steve Park car. He got in the wall, and I got into him, and he about went over top my roof. I don't know whatever happened to him after that, but yeah,
That was
other
Brian
than that,
Brobst. He finished
Brian Brobst.
inside the top 10. He finished 7th place. He was running up inside the top 5 after that incident too.
All right, well, at least I didn't end its night or anything. So, but yeah, other than that, it was a fun time. I think I dropped back to like 12th or something and kind of clawed my way back up there. I know my back is killing me, so yeah, I'll take it.
Well, man, that was a very impressive run. One race, one top 5. Looking forward to the rest of the season. How's this put your confidence in for the dirt race next week?
Oh God, I'm looking
Well,
forward to maybe the street course.
yeah.
I'm gonna look right past that dirt race.
Well, man, thank you for joining us. Anybody you want to thank before you go back to your chat?
Well, this new league for me, so I don't know all the names yet, but thank you to everybody that puts it on, and you guys for putting the show on. My dad's watching out there, and payday guys we're running with. I got one new one. I gotta get used to Jonathan, but yeah, that's all.
All right, man. Well, we will bring you back to your chat right here. Thank you for joining us and good run.
Thank you.
So I'm
Wow.
getting spammed by Jackson right now saying, let me get an interview. So he's breaking his way into the broadcast booth for a minute. We'll give him some time.
Yeah, pull him in real quick.
All right, Jackson spamming me the whole
Jackson.
time.
L. Jackson.
Finally got what he wanted. Definitely an L.
Whoops.
Jackson
L.
moment.
Jackson moment.
Whoops.
So
I
heard
was
you
trying
blew
to
a
click a
tire.
notification. Oh, I did. 4 laps to go.
And did you stay out on track?
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. You're just ripping
Amazing.
the fence like Chastain.
I slammed the wall in turn 4, and I was afraid I'd ruin my 0x, but it just gave me a regular contact. So enough of the I can't go without getting an incident point.
Well, I'm very proud of you for that, and keeping all 3 wheels on track, and the rubber inside the grandstands probably hit somebody, and now they're no longer a fan of Jackson Samsel after they wake up. But
What do you
otherwise,
mean?
man.
They got a souvenir.
So it
They
looked
got a
like
nice souvenir.
you were running pretty decent all night. I mean, you got through the B main, and you went a couple laps down. What happened?
Well, in the B main, my highlight of the night is racing my way in.
That was very impressive. I was very happy to see that.
That was my one and only highlight. And then the race started, and I climbed from 20th to 12th, and then slowly dropped back. And usually I race well when we've got some cautions and I get time to regroup, and we got one. So kind of was forced to. I had to pit. Couldn't pit then, so then had to pit under green and save tires after we did pit on the green flag. Saved my tires, and impressively, like if I was running full of flat out, I would have blown a tire with 30 to go, but I was lucky enough to then start pushing it with about 5 to go, and that's when my tire gave out. But otherwise just wasn't on pace today.
Well, I mean, you got next week as well, and I mean, you made the show tonight, so you maximized as many points as you could possibly get for, making it through the B main.
Yeah.
So otherwise, man, good job, good run tonight, and good job keeping the car on track.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody you want to thank before you go?
I think my dad's watching this, and then so thanks to him, and then we got M99 Logan. He does his thing, and he's sponsoring the race too. So all the other partners that do great things for this league and allow us to, do this every Thursday night and maybe even more nights in the future.
Yeah, 100%, man. Well, good job again tonight, and we will definitely be talking to you later on down the line.
Sounds good.
All right, that was Jackson Samsel. What do you say we get in Blake Hoppy making a huge
Yeah.
run inside the top 5 late in the race?
Absolutely, this top 5 is definitely probably has some things to say. Let's go here from Blake Hoppy here.
Blake, you got us?
What's going on, guys?
Not too much, man. I mean, you had a great run all night. We were having a blast watching you making some big moves, some 3 wide moves, and you ended up inside the top 5 after a huge run after that last pit cycle. What was going through your mind, and what was your strategy?
I was trying to just save that right front the most I could, and then towards the end there, I was just trying to push it as hard as I could just to try to get up top 5. Dustin actually hopped over and asked what my right front was, and I was 20% better than those guys, so another 20, 30 laps, I probably would have been top 3 maybe, but overall, good points day.
Yeah, man, you were ripping through that field. So You're so close to that first win. What else do you need to get there?
Just keep on digging, I guess. I think it's coming.
I think so too, man. I mean, we're all happy for you. We love watching you. We know that you can get a little heated at some points too, whether it's in the chat or in the race. So you're always a blast to watch. I mean, you make some good moves as well. You're a great driver. So good job again, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I had a blast tonight. We actually had some long runs, had some pit cycles there, so that added some different strategies to it. So that was just overall a good time.
Yes, sir. Well, before you go, anybody you want to thank?
I just want to thank Logan, family members that are watching, any friends, and just everybody that tuned in. Hopefully that we put on a good show for everybody.
Yes, sir. Well, you guys definitely did. You especially, man. You were making some crazy moves out there. Well, we'll let you go back to your chat. Thank you for joining us and good run.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right, let's start getting the boys inside the podium. That is going to be a fun interview with starting off with Logan Monteith.
Race sponsor Logan Monteith. Let's get him in. M99 GRAFX.
All right, Logan, you got us up in the booth?
Yeah. You're. This couldn't have been the worst time. Now you just made me look like I quit off of Steve talking to me. But it's all good.
Don't worry about it.
He knows. He knows.
We'll tell him later on down the line. So, running P3, not a horrible run, but you came through the field, it looked like once or twice after a couple issues, it looked like, but just didn't have enough for those front two. What did you need?
I guess more practice, but I mean, I was perfectly content with third there. Good points day, and after last week, then I was just I was happy with this. So I wasn't expecting to come in here and win or anything. I just hoping for a top 5 and achieve that.
I mean, you seem to get the least amount of practice as possible, it seems. You run like half the practice of our hour-long practice, and you don't get any laps throughout the week, but you still show up and still put down a good race, man. So very impressive. We give you a lot of props throughout the broadcast, and obviously you're showing it right here. 30 minutes of practice and laying down a top 3 finish.
Yeah, this race definitely made me a lot happier. I mean, this reminded me of a lot of last season, the green flag runs, green flag pit stops, and after the frustrating difficulties with cautions and stuff for the first how many races, it was nice just to have this with one caution.
Yeah, definitely. From a league owner perspective, such as yourself and I, and it's your race, so your self-titled race. Anybody else you want to thank though?
Intensity broadcasting and you guys for sitting up in the booth and
Hold on, which broadcasting?
not
You're good, man.
Extreme Sim. Yeah, it's been a long week.
No, I
Sorry
get it,
about
man.
that.
No, you're good. I just thought it was funny. We are the top tier broadcasting organization here. Nobody goes anywhere else except for Extreme Sim TV with Rain and myself, as well as our future broadcasters up and coming.
Yeah, they're very close with names, so. But Extreme Sim is the better one, so.
That's right. That's right. Well, we like to hear it, man, and thank you for joining us. And once again, solid run with not a lot of practice under your belt. That was very impressive.
Thank you.
All right. What do you say we get in Mr. Cofield? Had an interview last week for the wrong reasons. Now, hopefully he'll have a little happier tone of voice this time around.
Let's hear it.
Jonathan Cofield, you got us up in the booth.
Yeah, bud, I got you.
All right, man. Well, 2 weeks, 2 solid runs. Obviously, you didn't get the result you wanted last week, but this week, ran inside second. I think it was like the top 5 the whole race pretty much, except for the pit cycle. And you were catching Jacob Bradley early on in that first run before the pit cycle, but from there on out, it looks like you were just hanging on and just coasting to a solid second place finish.
Yeah, I burned him up a little bit in that first run. After the pit stop, run a little easier, but lap traffic was pretty hard to deal with. A couple guys in groups racing for positions. I'd reel him in a little bit, and then he'd get back away. So, all in all, pretty good redemption from last week.
Yes, sir, man. Well, like I said, very impressive run, very impressive showing that you had. 2 races, 2 good, 2 really solid races, mind you. I mean, you're up inside the top 2 most of the week, last week and this week. So, anybody you want to thank before we let you go back?
Yeah, man, I want to thank Payday Racing for letting me join. Good 1-2-4 finish. Everybody in the top 5. You guys for putting on the broadcast. M99 GRAFX for being the series sponsor. All the supporting sponsors, Shark RC, 60 Feet 6 Foundation, Home Smart Evergreen. I want to thank my sponsor, Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, and just everybody in here. It's a great league. I just joined. Can't wait to do some more racing with you guys. Fun crowd.
Yes. Yes, sir. Well, we are excited to have you. We know you're very solid already. I mean, like I said, good showing, man. So we'll let you go back to your team, and congrats on the 2nd place.
Thanks, buddy.
Now, just
All right, now
before we pull into Jacob Bradley, I want to know. I mean, I generally like to give the winner a seat, to take a chance to talk. But I mean, I see Brady Powers is still kind of holding around in here. And I mean, with the way he ran tonight, especially with the way things shook out in terms of the team shakeup that happened over this past week, I think we should probably drop in on him real quick before we pull in our winner.
You know what? That is a very, very solid idea. May as well do that. I'm going to bring him in right now. Mr. Brady Powers, you got us up in the booth?
Yes, sir.
Well, you started out a little shaky. You got spun early on in the race, but came back through the field. You ran inside the top 5 a lot. You had a lot of speed, man. And after getting booted off that Mach 1 racing that just turned into Payday Racing, did you have a grudge on your, like a chip on your shoulder, or you just had a good run tonight?
Not really. I mean, it's my first time I ever ran at Iowa, and I didn't get that much practice. But nah, I mean, I'm good with the 2 new Payday guys that just joined in. I run in other leagues with them, but there's no chip on their shoulder. Just running hard and running by myself now.
All right, man. Well, very impressive. Very solid run. I mean, if you can get a good run, I think I said it in the broadcast, if you can start up front and just hang around up there, you're going to be a force to be reckoned with, man. You are quick.
Yeah, the car felt good tonight. I was trying to help Connor along also in the call, and I was also working with Adam a little bit, so.
Well, I mean, it definitely paid off. Those 2 were looking pretty fast as well. So, looks like you 3 together could be a force to be reckoned with in the future. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it if I wouldn't be opposed to it if I were you.
Yeah, no, they're good guys running in there with them. Just got to find my right team and work with them.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you for giving us your time, man, and great run tonight.
Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
All right. Now, with that, let's get in his ex-teammate, Mr. Jacob Bradley.
And just
Jacob
like
Bradley.
that, Jacob Bradley, 2-time winner, back-to-back. First time since Tyler Barnett did it last season. How you feeling tonight so far?
Feeling pretty good. I was really worried that a caution was going to come out. Me and Jonathan had pretty well gapped the field there. So glad that I was able to run green. I know Connor wrecked behind him. So glad that we could get the 1-2-4. And man, we put a big whooping on the field tonight.
Yeah, you guys did. That was very, very impressive. What were you doing? Well, you and Jonathan Cofield, what were you guys doing differently than the field?
Really, we were just backing up the corner and focusing on the exit, because if you could check it up and make sure you're getting to that throttle, you were going to drift it off, and on the long runs, you really need to do that because that right front really burns up easy.
Definitely. Well, I mean, you guys put on a clinic like you said, and using that arc in the corner, I mean, very familiar with that arc. I use it a lot at Auto Club and Nashville Super Speedway, and I was thinking it's going to be kind of the same sort of style of driving this car here, and you guys did a fantastic job doing it. So good job, man. Congrats on 2 in a row and 2 big races that he won, 2 absolute clinics he put on, and it's looking like it's going to be a good championship battle coming down to it.
Yeah, I was 17th a couple weeks ago. Made a big run here, so hopefully I'm going to get up to that points lead here soon. I had to chase down Logan by a lot.
I mean, it's going to be definitely a tight battle towards the end, but how you feeling for the dirt race?
That's the only one I circled that I was not going to try too well at. I mean, I do have quite a few dirt starts, but it's in the dirt street stock, and this thing doesn't handle anywhere close to that.
Yeah, and I mean that's Logan's home. A lot of people have him circled to win it. Do you think you can have a good points day and see if you can minimize that gap if you are not sandbagging and not going to put on a clinic like you did tonight?
Yeah, I'm just looking for good points today, hoping that I can keep it in the top 5 and not let Logan run too far away.
Yes, sir, man. Well, good job tonight. Very impressive run. Just absolutely dominating these last 2 weeks. Good job, man. Anybody you want to thank before you go?
Yeah, I want to thank the series and race sponsor M99 GRAFX. I'm glad for all the work they do for the ARCA series, and I want to thank my parents. They were watching, as well as my cousin Jason. They were all watching, so gotta thank all of them. And of course, Payday Racing. I couldn't have a better group of guys behind me.
All right, man. Well, once again, congratulations. Great job, and get to see you next week, man. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right. Well, what a fantastic race. Only one caution early on in the run. Majority of the laps with green flag. That was just impressive all around.
Absolutely. I mean, and that caution was really, I mean, we'll have to see a little bit more about what it was, but Dustin Bally getting into the back of Brady Powers in that instance. I mean, it's really hard to say about what could have happened there, but there were a couple of other instances that could have been cautions that the guys were managing to get themselves off track and not cause any incident. Of course, the little scrap at the end with Connor Morris with just getting into the wall and coming down. Again, everybody managed to kind of stay out of the way and not cause any kind of big pile up there. So, I mean, could you ask for a whole lot more than a lot of really clean, really hard, good racing with, I mean, Tyler DeTalent finished in the top 10 he led laps tonight, I mean, could you ask for more than an excitement?
Not at all. And I mean, once again, he breaks down our broadcasting door and he's in here and he's probably ready to talk now. He got rejuvenated. I'm sure he shotgunned a beer or something.
Hanging
He's
out
ready to
back
go.
behind the camera. Just listening.
He can't
He
help
took over the
himself.
cameraman's job.
Oh man, yeah. Just hanging out.
Well, you finally rejuvenate? I mean, it sounded like you were dead tired in that interview.
Yeah, I just sitting here just like watching a little bit of the replay and just some of the moves and some of the moves other people were making. Like my teammate Blake was near me with, I don't know, maybe 20-ish to go or so, and then he went all the way back up and got 5th. He was on rails there at the end. I just happened to get kind of lucky with Steve Loving having his tires fall off with his early pit. Picked up a spot, and I was trying to run down Adam Boyles, but I couldn't make the pass at the end. But I guess I'll settle for 10th, and that's Evil Empire, 3 guys in the top 10, so can't be mad at it.
And you were the last person to finish on the lead lap.
Just like last week.
We're looking at a pattern forming here.
Yeah.
You had more wheels than you did last week, though.
That's true. I felt like I don't even know. It was driving that car last week was weird. Like I was doing a Ross Chastain, but like not for any reason. I just couldn't not do it, and it was a lot slower.
The reverse Chastain. Everybody's always in the wall the whole time.
I like it. Well, man, good job again tonight, and glad to see that you're recovering a little bit.
Oh yeah, now I'm ready for bed.
I want to take an opportunity here to go ahead and point forward to next week, week 7 at Knoxville Raceway. It's the Corn Belt 75 presented by M99 GRAFX. It'll be 75 laps at night on dirt. That is not something you're going to want to miss. ARCA cars on dirt.
I'm so ready for that.
Oh, man. That's got to be an Evil Empire top 3 right there, right?
Well, we like to speak things into existence, but we're going to give it all we got.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Wonderful
sir.
stuff. I mean, two races being back-to-back, sponsored by M99 GRAFX and Logan of Evil Empire Sport there. Fantastic. Thanks so much to him. And again, thanks to M99 GRAFX for not only sponsoring this race and next week's race, but also for sponsoring the entire league. This is the Backmarkers M99 GRAFX ARCA series, and we couldn't do it without that sponsorship. So if you would please, he's got an Instagram. It is at M99_graphics. That is at M99 GRAFX. Go over there, drop him a follow, look at all his cool paints, see his cool racing clips. Give him some love because he shows us a lot of love here.
Yes, sir, and thank you for everybody that tuned in tonight. I know it was unfortunate once again that some people had to get booted out, and I know their family was watching, so they probably aren't very happy with us. But anybody that did watch and anybody that tuned in throughout the night, thank you guys for watching. We thrive on you guys, and just so thankful that we get any viewer possible. And I know we have a lot of families watching too, so if by chance you are still watching, thank you guys, and we will give you guys a big shout out next week as well.
Absolutely. Big thanks to all of the families that have been showing up. Oh, something wrong with the mic there. Sorry about that, viewers at home. There's something really strange going on occasionally with the audio here on the mic line coming from you, Tyler. But every once in a while I'm able to fix it. But a big thank you to all the families that have been showing support and have been, showing up and watching weekly, growing the viewer base. Big thank you to everybody in this league. We had 36 people show up to run this race, and 22 got in, but there's going to be time for all 36 to be on the same track, not next week, but the week after at Auto Club. We want to see that same number. We want everybody to show up out there too. There's a reason we have to shorten these short tracks a little bit. It's for the same reason you just saw. Look how clean and run through that race was. But hey, that doesn't mean don't show up next week to the dirt. You might find your way in. Maybe you find out you're good at dirt in the ARCA car. Or maybe even more so, it's very important to show up. You want to get those super license points if you want to look at progressing and graduating up. It's very important to show up for your own points as well to gain those positions, not to mention your team points. I mean, I for sure, I know that I've been talking with my guys. I know Charles is feeling kind of weird about the dirt, but in no way, shape, or form is Charles never going to show up to a race because, well, first of all, I'd fire him straight out. You don't show up to my races, all right? No. But for real, like, showing up, giving it a shot. We do these B mains because we want everybody to have a chance to race. We want them to be able to show off and show how good they can be. And, it's a tight 5 transfer. Finishing just outside of that after you fought and you're just in 6th or you're just outside in that top 10 area, you pulled in a good turn, you're going to get points put towards you. And you know what? Just look to next week and say, we got this. But like we said, we're looking to do an East-West split next season for ARCA. That's really going to help with the growth that we've seen in this league. It's going to let this issue not be an issue to where we don't have to worry about shortening these fields and everybody can, not have to worry about the participation. You might call it an oversight, but I mean, we've had unprecedented growth and it's amazing. And we don't want it to slow down. So we have to make changes and concessions here and there so that we can improve the broadcast experience and the experience of the racers. And additionally, we're going to be looking at a large portion of these people are not going to be running ARCA next season. They are all going to be graduating up to the truck series and running in there. So, I mean, we're going to see some major changes, some major shakeups, and a lot more opportunity for people to shine. So stick with us, stick through it. This might not be your season just yet, but hey, I mean, everybody has a weird rookie season, right? I mean, we can't all win them all big on the first one, Tyler.
Yeah, sir. I mean, with the level of talent that's been in this league right now, it's incredible. I am just so thankful that we're getting this level of talent and just this ability that everybody's bringing to the table. It's getting so tight up inside this top pack, and not only that, but throughout the field, people are getting a little quicker. People are learning, and they're learning how to race against each other, as well as like learning how to make good moves. So this whole league, I mean, it's way more than I ever thought it'd be. And like I said, I'm just so thankful for it.
It's come a long way from about 12, 14 people showing up regularly to races last season. That is for sure.
Right.
Like I said, it's been unprecedented growth. We've had triple turnouts than we had last season. That's not really something you can plan for over a break setting up for season 2. So everybody bearing with it. You're a part of something cool. You're on the ground floor of something that's really taken off and starting to get a little bit of some backing behind it. And a lot of great people are going to cycle through here. I mean, we've heard a lot about guys who started in iRacing just picking up sim racing and ended up transitioning into cars, and now they're running, Truck Series, Xfinity, ARCA. We could very well have some of those people coming through here. We got a lot of really young guys starting out You know, they're honing their craft. People like Michael Gudger, Adam Boyles, Michael Boyles, Connor Morse. These are all people who could, you know, end up potentially getting behind the wheel of a race car one day, and you're getting to see what they're starting out at all the way here in M99 GRAFX Backmarkers Racing League here. I mean, what more could you ask for? Just really fun, clean racing, and you know what? It's something fun to do. It's fun to race. It's fun to watch. It's a good time.
Definitely, 100%. It's just so incredible, and I mean, I don't doubt that at all. The level of talent that we have, as well as the young guns, and I mean, like even myself, I'm looking at testing a late model out sometime this year, and all thanks to iRacing. That's really all this is, and obviously, I could help put this league together. I can help guide people as much as I can too, and it's just been fantastic. So, super thankful for anybody that's racing, even if you guys didn't make the show. Obviously, we love you all, and I'm super excited to see where this grows in the future.
All right. Is there anything you want to close up with? Anybody you want to thank in particular, Tyler, before we wrap this thing up?
Obviously, one of my really good friends, Logan Monteith, obviously sponsoring the series, sponsoring the race, and going to be sponsoring next week as well. But yeah, just him. Couldn't do it without this series. See this series sponsor, all the other sponsors like Shark RC, 60'6" Foundation, Evil Empire Sim Sport, which is the team I'm on. Backmarkers, obviously, just everybody that comes in through here and helps put on a good show. You, obviously, for doing all the work because I'm not very technology savvy. So I appreciate that, as well as being the head commentator and doing a great job with that. I mean, if I could pay you $1,000 a week, I would.
Yes, please.
Maybe in the future.
Well, contract negotiations. We'll talk about that for Cup. Absolutely. Well, yeah, once again, huge shout out, big thank you, Logan M99 GRAFX. I cannot stress it. You have an Instagram. I know you do. You're watching this on YouTube. Go over to Instagram, pull up that search bar, go in at M99 underscore GRAFX, at M99 underscore graphics. Go drop a follow to Logan. Show him some love on his posts. He works really hard. A lot of these schemes you see out here tonight, especially Evil Empire schemes, I mean, they've had Logan's hand on them somewhere at some point. He is an incredible worker, and not to mention he's gonna be putting up cool clips all the time as well. So you're not gonna want to miss out on stuff like that. And again, huge thank you to our broadcast partner, Extreme Sim TV, the only place you can watch live M99 Backmarkers ARCA series races live. You don't want to miss the live experience. It's really fun. You get to pop in chat, talk to a ton of people that you've never had the opportunity to before. You get to interact with guys who are racing. A lot of them, you know, if they end up dropping out of the race a little bit early, maybe they have some engine trouble, maybe they just don't quite have it, maybe they don't quite make the feature on a short track just yet. They're going to be popping in and out of that chat too, interacting. You're going to want to talk to them. It's going to be cool. So again, but a big thank you to Extreme Sim TV for allowing us to do these broadcasts. You go down below. I'm dead serious about this. Right down below here, there's a subscribe button. You need to go down and click that subscribe button. Click the bell as well so you can get notified of all future releases. And of course, we always try to put up our races ahead of time, usually a couple of days. So be on the lookout so that you can get a notification. You can go in and click notify me on those races to get a notification when we go live. We always go live somewhere just after 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. That is PM, of course. I'm not getting up that early. But we always go live around that time on Thursdays for ARCA. So don't miss a second of it. Come in. We're going to come in. We show practices while everything's starting up. We do our introductions, and then we get into qualifying around 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. So be here for that every Thursday on here on Extreme Sim TV on YouTube. Once again, big thank you to everybody involved, everybody who sponsored this series. This has been Rain Braun, my broadcast partner, Tyler Barnett. We want to thank you guys one last time for showing up, and we hope to see you next week at Knoxville.